It's December 25th, 2003. Libya admits to building a nuclear bomb. Parliament is first accused of falsifying accounts to the tune of 500 billion United States dollars, later admitted by founder Callisto Tanzi. Observers call it Europe's Enron. Mars Express enters orbit around Mars. Its lander, Beagle 2, was to land on the surface, but is lost, presumed crashed. How do these things tie together? I don't really remember. Because Paycheck comes to theaters.
They irritate the irritated, flex perplexities, poise puzzles, magnify mysteries, impose inquiries, and coagulate quandaries. But more importantly, they ask one question.
Why would you make this?
Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for listening. This is Why Would You Make This? I am Jimmy Tyne. I'm joined, as usual, by the excitable Jay Delta. How's it going?
Not too bad.
All right. The suspiciously quiet Danny Money. How are you, sir?
I'm all right, and yourself?
All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay.
That was my response to how you're doing. Word for word.
What do you want? I mean, that's who we are. All right. You guys watched Paycheck, right?
Oh, I watched it twice.
Yes.
You did?
I did.
That's what I usually do, is watch them twice. So oh my God.
Yeah.
I'll say it right off the bat. 4 hours we put
Yeah.
into that film, because it's a 2-hour film.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, we watched Paycheck. Unfortunately, a lot of other people also watched Paycheck.
Yeah.
But some people, the title got lost in translation. All right. Spain, Finland, France, Italy, all had the title Paycheck. Nothing changed. I don't mean any disrespect to the other countries, but fairly mainstream countries, I'd say. Definitely in the higher realm of if there'd be a ranking. I'd presume this, so that's probably why they didn't have any trouble. Next we have Argentina, Bulgaria, Brazil, Croatia, Poland, Siberia, and Uruguay all named this film Payment. That's pretty close. That's what the title was called. Just
They're
a different
almost
variation.
there.
Yeah. The French title in Canada was called The Pay. Literally, I think it was called like El Pay, which was amazing. I was like, oh, it's great. I don't know why. I loved it.
The simple things.
Really, really. Austria and Germany both had this. I'm not sure if I did this wrong or not, but apparently it was called Paycheck the Billing, which to me makes it sound almost like a horror film. I don't know why. It just does. Estonia lost their goddamn minds, and they call this film Remuneration, which is just a very fancy way to say that you're paying some, giving some compensation, which is what it's called in Greece, the compensation. Hungary watched the film, read the title, and went, well, we can find a good mesh that copies Paycheck, but also like sort of tells you the plot at the same time. And they called their film The Forgetting Wages.
All right.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
That's not a phrase I've ever heard. Portugal did the same thing. They called their film Paid to Forget, which is it's exactly what he does. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
There's more going on, but
I actually think that's probably a better title than Paycheck, but that's me.
yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, to be fair,
I guess so. Yeah.
yeah, I think Paycheck's a pretty, like, aside from the first, like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of the movie, where they're like, where's my paycheck? Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
I think it was Kevin Smith said somebody asked him about what he thought about Paycheck and how Affleck acted in it, and I think his response was, "Well, if you heard the title, you know his response. It's just a paycheck."
Yeah.
All right, the last two, I think they just go off the deep end. They don't have anything to do with Paycheck, this film. In Russia, it's called Hour of Reckoning. I don't know. Everything in this film is longer than an hour, so I don't. And then Turkey called it pretty much the same thing, Reckoning. So there you go.
Right.
That's how they named their titles. Yeah, probably Paid to Forget.
Yeah.
It's probably the best,
Exactly.
I think. Yeah, when you put it all down there. Paycheck the Billing still sounds like a horror film to me. It really does.
Is that like, you know, sometimes they do the horror movie, like Paycheck is the first one, and then like Paycheck the Billing is the sequel.
Exactly. I don't even know. I think the billing, like billing in that language is the same thing as paycheck. So it's like literally paycheck the paycheck.
Paycheck the Paycheck.
Yeah. To bill someone and be like, oh yeah, you owe me. So it's a paycheck. And
Yeah.
All right. Enough rambling on about this. Let's get to not the hour of reckoning, but the most important hour of the whole show. The Troy McClure hour.
Yeah. What up, Marge?
I'm watching a videotape that could change our lives.
Oh, hi, I'm Troy McClure. You might remember me from such self-help videos as Smoke Yourself Thin and Get Confident, Stupid. Well, now I'm here to tell you about the only real path to mental health. That's right, it's the Brad Goodman something or other.
Marge, can I go outside and play?
Okay, Ben Affleck plays Jennings.
I think we can just skip all this and be like, you can remember all of them from Batman in some iteration.
Yeah, I
it's
know.
just you can remember everyone from Batman in some way,
Exactly.
shape, or form.
The whole time I'm watching this, I'm just going like,
Batman.
They have Batman.
Batman.
That's
Batman.
Batman. There's a Batman there. That's a
Yeah.
Batman thing. Everything about this.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
In fact, spoiler alert, but the ending could kind of set up for Two-Face.
It's out! Yes! Oh, I wrote that down. I was like, did he just become Two-Face like a
Okay.
good 7 years before? Yeah.
Plus, the point in the movie where Ben Affleck flips the coin, I'm like, that's it! That's gonna be his coin!
That was it. Oh, man. I guess that's
Oh my
that's the
god!
sequel we were really gonna...
It just clicked in my brain that Uma Thurman is like, all she does is mess with plants.
It's
the
just
whole time.
biologist. That's what I meant. The whole thing, yeah.
Why did that? I did not make that. I was like, she's in Batman. She played Poison Ivy. No, did not make the plant connection the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah. He's rich. He has like this secret life.
Yep.
He kind of, and then the Two-Face thing, the Poison Ivy thing, and then like there's a lot of scenes and stuff. At the end, Ben Affleck, who's Batman, and Aaron Eckhart, who's Two-Face, are fighting over a girl named Rachel.
Yeah.
The whole time I was just going, like, did somebody watch this movie and go, oh, I got a great Batman film? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, yeah, so I mean, let me go through it just in case.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck plays Jennings. You might know him from such roles as Fred O'Bannon from Dazed and Confused. Most recently, he plays Dune in Gone Girl, and in the future he will be playing, as we said, Bruce Wayne / Batman in Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, the Justice League Part 1, and Justice League Part 2. I'd like to point out that the films are apparently on IMDb titled The Justice League Part 1 and Justice League Part 2. They just take out the in the sequel for some reason. I don't know why. All right, Aaron Eckhart plays Rethrick. You might remember him from such roles as Nick Cozier from Any Given Sunday, Harvey Dent from The Dark Knight, and Benjamin Asher from London Has Fallen. I believe he's the president in that whole Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen. That's a series.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I know he was in Olympus as well.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know there was
Yeah, London is a sequel apparently.
Really?
And he's
I did not know they made a sequel.
In London Has Fallen, he plays Benjamin Asher, but in Olympus Has Fallen, he plays President Benjamin Asher. So I guess in the sequel,
he didn't get reelected.
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe there's just no America. I don't know what the story's
shit.
about. All right, Uma Thurman plays Rachel. You might remember her from such roles as Mia Wallace in Pulp Fiction, Poison Ivy / Dr. Pamela Isley in Batman and Robin, and most recently, she played Gwen Ling in the Now and Gwen episode of a 2005 television series, American Dad. You can see the full cast and crew at imdb.com. Holy crap! Let's get through this horrible film.
I really didn't think it was all that bad.
Really?
Yeah.
This movie, I can sum up with just a couple words: incompetence and confusion. That is the entire
Absolutely.
movie. Like nobody knows exactly really what they're doing, and everyone's just kind of like confused about what they are trying to do the entire movie.
Yeah. All right. Let's just jump right into the film.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck's walking through an ARC, or ARC, I don't know, convention, with his products being sold and stuff like that. A woman asks him if he likes a certain product he's looking at. Ben Affleck's like, yeah, box it up. Then he walks through a bunch of corridors while the credits roll and stuff like that. He gets to a room. A woman comes in. She goes, look, Mr. Jennings. He enters the room. She leaves. Then he
See
goes
you in 2
inside.
months.
Oh, you said see you in 2 months. Yes, right. He goes inside and just starts taking apart the thing that he bought, looking at the wiring and the machinery and the circuitry and all that stuff. And he analyzes everything. This is just the whole credits. This is the whole credits.
Yeah,
It's him. It's the 2 months that he's working for them. After the credits, we see Jennings with a bunch of people in suits in a lab with his product next to the original product. Turns out he made it so much better, now it's a hologram.
Yeah, it's not a 3D monitor.
Yeah,
anymore.
that's what it was. I don't think I said that. But yeah, originally the product was some weird three-dimensional, it's a flat screen monitor that projected a 3D image.
Yeah.
It was so weird, because like when you looked at the screen, it was 2D, but if you
Yeah.
looked at the side of the screen, it was 3D. Like, I don't
That's
understand.
really inconvenient. I always have to look at my TV from the side.
Yeah. You could only watch shows in profile. Yeah, so it's a hologram. The guys in the suits freak out. They're like, "Oh yeah, we can sell this," blah, 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 and they leave. The woman that was there from earlier, who was also there in the lab, congratulates him, and they have sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna stop. Do you guys pick up what year this movie takes place?
I mean, 2003, right?
It starts off in 2004.
Oh, okay.
Right? And then we find out that we end up jumping ahead in time later. Yeah. We never, ever, 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 ever see this hologram technology again.
Yeah.
It's like, in the movie, they're like, oh my god, we're gonna have 100% market share, this is gonna be amazing, this is gonna revolutionize, and then it's like 3 years later, and it's like, no, shit is fucking, fuck you.
Same.
It's,
Same.
Yeah. Like, there wasn't even a callback. Like, he turns on the TV, and it's, oh, this is the hologram baseball game.
Potentially, it's actually worse, because the product that they're already selling, we don't see either.
Yeah.
So that product's gone, too.
Yeah. People are just like, fuck that, I don't want 3D.
No. That's the constant profile just killed the whole genre. They're like, no, this is bullshit.
That or maybe you just set it up to work to a certain point so then they can't evolve it, that you can turn it into like a TV or something like that. Kind of like how when we later on in the movie, you find out that he did that with the machine that tells the future. So maybe he did it with limitations on it.
You think he's just like...
He's just a dick. He's just a dick. He purposely goes out and gets jobs just to fuck with people.
Yeah. People are like, well, this hologram thing is awesome, but all it is this woman, and she just talks to me. She doesn't even tell me useful stuff. She's not even Siri. I can't even ask her what the weather is.
That's all it does.
She just goes, welcome to the product of the future.
Well, at the beginning, all he cares about is getting paid, so what the fuck does he care? All it does is just like a woman just sits, standing there just talking to you.
Okay, so he ends up getting paid for this job.
Yeah.
Right? Did you guys see how much it was?
We didn't get there yet, but yeah, it was like almost, I think, $600,000.
Yeah, like $500,000, a little over $500,000, $526,000. Okay, they set Ben Affleck up as a genius.
Yeah.
Like, the dude is like the world's smartest man.
He has to be.
He's like, oh, this technology, bleep, blorp, bleep.
Yeah.
Oh, I made it better. What the fuck is he doing? What is he doing with his life?
I don't understand.
Incompetence.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, I couldn't understand if someone was that stupid, or it made me question life, that maybe a reverse engineer is a real job.
I'm pretty sure it is.
That's a real thing.
It's gotta be. Yeah, I'm sure, like...
No, I'm sure there are engineers who go around and take technology and try to figure out how it works.
Yeah.
Like, But I refuse to believe there's any human being who goes around, yeah, I'm a reverse engineer. That's my job. That just, like, my brain broke down. I was like, there's no human being who introduces themselves that way.
I'm a reverse postman. I just take mail out.
Yeah, like, what are you?
Jesus. I take your junk mail away.
That's it. Oh, man. I'm a reverse salesman.
What does that mean? I work at the return counter.
That's it. That's all it is. I'm a reverse gas man. What do you... I siphon gas from cars with a hose. Yeah, just the fact that someone was like, he's a reverse engineer. They're like, yeah, genius. Somehow that broke it down for me.
Yeah.
But whatever. Yeah, after they have sex, him and the woman, they're like, you're not going to remember this, right? And he's like, no. She's like, yeah. She bangs him.
Yeah.
And then we kind of just flash to Jennings is sitting in this weird chair. Paul Giamatti is running a machine that he is hooked up to, that Jennings is hooked up to. All the suits are there from earlier. They're watching all these bits of memories that Paul Giamatti's character is deleting from Jennings' mind, including, of course, the one bit where they have sex.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh my God, Rita, what the...
Slut. There's Rita the slut.
I mean, to be fair, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a business meeting. You don't just... Like that... To me, the fact that she had sex, she was like, you're not going to remember this, right? And he was like, no. She's like, that's too bad. And I was like, that's kind of rapey. That's a little...
That's absolutely...
It's a little rapey. I mean, he wanted it, but...
Well,
you're
But
kind
at the same time, another view at maybe how he's a bit of a dick. Maybe he knew that, that part of his flashback was going to be seen. Because he has been doing it for some time.
No, I don't think so, because, like, not too long after this scene, like, somewhere after the gym, he says, oh, how come you never asked me what I take out of your memories?
Yeah, you never asked what I see on the monitor.
Paul Giamatti asked him, he's like, how come you never... He's like, it's just... I don't need that. I have a highlight reel. That's all I need.
All right.
That's his excuse, yeah. So I don't think he knew that.
I gotta say, I liked when they were deleting his memories, that
Yeah.
it's literally like, oh, there's the memory bubble. Bzz, zap it with a laser.
Yeah. That didn't... And it was so strange to me, because they're looking at the machine or whatever, and then one of the suits knocks into the monitor and knocks it over, and all of a sudden Affleck's internal body temperature shoots up.
Well, it's science. That's how, if you tilt the monitor over...
No, science is pointing at the fact that I'm pretty sure if, 43 degrees Celsius fries his brain, that 42.9 degrees Celsius is the same thing. If he's dead at 43, he's a vegetable at 42.9.
No, but he's a vegetable at 43.
Oh.
So he's just mildly...
Perfectly mentally healthy at every other temperature.
Yeah.
And somehow still a genius at coming out of it.
That's like a heavy safety window, I guess. Because the FBI seems to have that same safety window. They're like, fuck it. I don't care if it goes 1 degree over.
Yeah.
Like, so maybe it's just a really thick safety window. Like, 43 is like, if they reach that, then 10 more degrees, and then he's dead.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck I'm arguing at this point.
You're just angered about the movie.
The whole 4 hours of this crap I watched.
So...
What's worse is I've seen this movie before. So this is, like, I had to watch this movie 2 extra times. Like, I saw it once years ago. Remembered everything somehow. And I'm just watching this film, I'm like, yeah, and then he does that with that thing, and then that thing goes here. I hate this fucking film. Just watching it the whole time.
When you brought this movie up, you were like, yeah, and he fights with a bow staff. And I was like, how is that? And then,
Yeah.
I mean, that pretty much brings us after they delete.
Yeah, he deletes his memories, and they recover from the temperature.
I just want my paycheck.
Yeah,
And they
with
give
legal
him,
jargon, you exonerate all the... just give me my money. Boom. In the gym. Michael, who is Michael Jennings...
Yeah.
I looked up on IMDb and in the credits, and it's just Jennings, Rethrick, Rachel.
Yeah.
But in the film, they all have first and last
Yeah.
names and titles and monikers, and I don't know why. It's very confusing to me. Anyway, Michael is working out in the gym with this very weird, futuristic, like, training dummy.
Yeah, it's like he's surrounded by these little training dummies with special sensors.
Yeah.
They light up and he's got to hit him.
It didn't take until the second time, or I guess technically the third time that I watched it, that I realized Paul Giamatti was controlling that with the thing in his hand. I thought it was just going off and he was just like cheering him on. But no, he was controlling it with something in his hand, and he's just hitting it with the bow staff, like these 3 different pillars, high, low, up, left, back, up.
And I guess they're testing his reaction time, make sure his brain isn't turned into scrambled eggs.
Probably.
Do you realize, I don't know if this bothered you, that everyone else in the gym is just like casually working out. And then in the center of the gym, it's just a crazy guy with a bow staff. And Paul Giamatti going, yeah, that's it, yeah. And everyone else is completely unfazed. And it's not even like, there's no way this is a regular occurrence because he's been in that room for 2 months. So it's not like, oh, here's fucking crazy Ben Affleck again every day. It's like,
maybe for the patrons it was like, who the fuck is this guy? But perhaps for the employees it was like, I think 3 months have gone by. He's gonna come back again.
But not even that, because he says as long as someone's been had their mind erased 8 weeks, which is presumably, I guess.
I thought he said 8 months because he just did 2 months.
No, I thought he said
3
8
months.
weeks.
Yeah, I think he said 8 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I presume are then those 2 months.
That's a much larger number. I mean, a much smaller number.
So then maybe that's why they're not reacting to it, because he has been doing it frequently. It's just that this past time was him doing it for 2 month span rather than, I guess, maybe like a week or two than what he usually does.
There's still an insane guy with a bow staff smashing stuff. And, like, that's the only futuristic workout equipment. Everything else, it's just, like, a regular bench press and, like, a regular, like,
there was nothing
machine.
else, either martial arts or futuristic in that.
No.
Everything else was just treadmills and, like, universal deadlift machines.
Yeah.
Like,
what a bizarre dream. Like, maybe it's just a public gym with only, like, 4 machines and...
Maybe Danny's right, and he is a dick, and he was like, yeah, I don't have any place to put my workout equipment, so I'm just going to buy this in this gym. And I'm the only one that uses it once every couple of months.
Can I rent the center of your gym?
The floor.
Yeah.
A good, 20 by 20 square in the center of the gym.
Yes,
I mean, all the other workout equipment is literally just up against the wall, so maybe...
Telling you, he's a dick.
It's
No,
not.
he
I don't
is
even think
without
the
a
workout
doubt.
equipment is facing the mirrors. Like it's just
It's all facing him.
Guy's definitely a dick. This is absolutely an insight to what kind of Bruce Wayne he's gonna be.
Watch me with the bow staff. Huh, 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 huh. You guys watching this? Everybody watch this. Huh, huh.
Oh man. Then after the things get intense with the bow staff fight, he asks about why don't you ask about your memories? He's like, oh, it's a highlight reel. It's good enough. I don't need all that crap.
I'm so bothered by the fact now. After he got out of after he gets his paycheck, they're like, remember, you never worked with us. You don't know what any of us look like. I don't understand why. I don't understand what the point of that is.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, oh, maybe it's, copyright infringement. But the way patents work is if I figure out, if you patent something, like if you patent a wheelchair.
Yes.
And then I'm like, oh, what if I put a motor on it? That's it. Like, I patented the electric wheelchair.
Yeah.
It's a separate, an
absolutely.
improvement makes it a separate patent.
Yeah.
So if he's like, well, this motherfucker settled for $500,000 instead of patenting a hologram machine himself and selling it.
I don't know what the legal behind it is, but I don't understand why he didn't do the job, take the money, and then just spend another 2 months figuring it out again, because he can.
Yeah.
Like, I understand maybe he would have a hard time trying to figure out what he built, maybe, but there's Paul Giamatti. When he goes home, he gets the message from his friend.
Yeah.
In the note saying, I think this was you. So, like, there's very easy he can figure out what it is he did and go, let me just improve that. And then go, I was a dummy here.
Yeah.
And just boo. No, I don't understand how he has, when he's, I have no stock options later on in the film. He's like, I have no stock options. But you should still have. Like, that couldn't have been the first job he did. He should still be loaded. Like, he should still be able to be like, I'm just going to go to Guam.
And
just going to leave.
I don't know, because he's like, when Paul Giamatti asks him, like, don't you remember? He's like, I remember, driving the Aston Martin in Spain. Yeah. So I don't know if he's just, terribly irresponsible with his money. Like, as soon as he gets money, he just blows it on ridiculous shit.
That could be it.
Which is even kind of sadder, because, this company is like, all right, well, you're going to live here for 2 months, and presumably they pay for, his room and board, and then he invents a super device for him, and he just settles for $500,000.
Because he probably figures in a week or so, or he's going to have a new job from them.
Yeah, but then he's not going to have time to blow all that money, so then he wouldn't have to have... Why is he constantly getting... Where does this money go? That's what I want to know. what is? Does he just have like a really bad drug habit? And like he just like
maybe we're really early into it. Maybe he like this is his
first job.
Not his first. Maybe like his third job. Maybe he got a job, bought the house, and all that shit. Did a second job, did the Aston Martin thing and all that crap, and this is like the third job ever.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm just trying to put some like hardcore logic into it, but yeah, no, he like at the very least he should still have $500,000.
Well, let's put it this way: he gets back home, right? He gets back home after his gym workout, and he sits down to watch
Red Sox,
the Red Sox
in the World Series.
And I don't know if you noticed this, he's literally watching a tape of it, like a VCR.
We have DVDs at that point.
Without a doubt, yeah. PlayStation 2 is out at that point.
Yeah.
So everybody, I'm pretty sure TiVo might have been out by that point.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, regardless, this guy clearly has money, and he's still recording things on VHS.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what this guy's financial situation is like, but it is wacky as fuck.
Yeah.
It is all over the goddamn place. So he gets home, he's watching the Red Sox, because that's his favorite baseball team. He wants to see if they win the World Series. He gets a note from his friend, he opens it up. Or he gets a letter, rather. He opens it up. It's a note from his friend who's like, oh, come to this party. I saw this thing. I figured it was you. That means you're home, so you could definitely come to the party. Also, Red Sox lose.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, I wouldn't even go to this guy's party.
Yeah. At that point, I'm like, oh, this guy is not my friend, I guess.
Well, I think it was mentioned in the movie that they were college roommates.
That's not a friend. Like,
no.
That's like a prison mate.
This is the dick who like walked around naked all the time. You're like, put on a towel. And he's like, Red Sox lost the series. And you're like, motherfucker.
It's not even this season. So, yeah. After that, he goes right to the party. Him and Shorty arrive. Michael and some woman lock eyes, and he immediately runs off to go see who she is. And Shorty's like, oh, don't leave me alone. I think Paul Giamatti is supposed to be the comic relief in this film.
I think so.
Really?
Yeah. That's why I say I think, because it didn't really land. Like, there was the one part later where the waiter just keeps walking when he tries to reach. I was like, I think that was a joke.
Yeah.
And it made me laugh that I couldn't tell. I was like, I don't know if that's comedy or not.
I feel like there was so much that they tried to cram into this movie. Like, cause Shorty, I feel like
it was still 2 hours long.
No, yeah, I'm not saying it was a short movie.
You want to know what else? There's deleted scenes.
Yeah, I didn't watch any.
Oh man,
I don't know if you did.
Yeah, I did.
I did not.
Oh my god, and an alternate ending.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's awful. It's the worst thing in the world.
There's like a whole FBI subplot, and there's a whole I feel like Shorty is barely in the film.
Yeah, I don't know what is Shorty his personal assistant?
I don't know.
What does he do?
His brother.
That's his brother?
Yeah.
Are you serious? When did we learn that?
You learned that,
No, I didn't.
This is a major revelation. I thought he was just some poor schmuck that hung around with him.
No way.
I think at the party you find out that it's his brother. If not that, what is it? After he's trying to figure things out after he gets out of the FBI, he mentions that it's his brother.
What?
I don't.
There's no way.
No.
Yeah,
You
Shorty's
watched
his-
another movie and just confused. Seriously?
Yes, Shorty's his brother.
That's
So you're telling me that Paul Giamatti and Ben Affleck are related?
Apparently in this movie.
I
Hey,
don't-
you explain to me Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
They did because they tried to make the perfect baby. So all the good genes went to Arnold, and all the bad genes went to Danny DeVito.
That's not how genes work, by the way.
In twins, it is.
Spoiler alert from '92. That's not how genes work.
Yeah, they explained in the movie. They're like, yes, we tried to make the perfect baby.
Did they explain? Oh, they were separated at birth, right? I was
Yeah.
gonna say, did they explain why one was at a Californian accent?
Yeah,
and
it
one
was like,
Australian?
well, the one who got all the perfect genes, we're gonna raise him to be a Superman, and the other one we'll just bring to an orphanage or something.
Was this like a Nazi experiment?
It pretty much was. In fact, I'm pretty sure the doctor in Twins was German.
I'm pretty sure Jennings' lab assistant was a Nazi in this film.
His lab assistant.
Yeah.
Which?
What, like the guy that shows up for 4 seconds? Decker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
I'm pretty sure that's his name.
Wolf?
No. When he finally is like, yes, I'll do it. They close the door, and he's like, this is your lab assistant. And, like, that guy's like, hello, and he puts the briefcase on the... That's the guy he's working with. That's his lab assistant for those 3 years. I'm pretty sure he's a Nazi.
No, he was a nuclear physicist working for the United States government.
Yeah, that was the whole... I couldn't understand what he did.
He came up with the idea. Here is what I hate.
Oh, man.
I guess, should we get into it now, or should we wait?
We're still so far away from that, so let's go ahead, because I also want to point out that there's a very dramatic deleted scene in this party area. Right after Michael is all awkward, and he's like, no, I don't believe in second chances, and says goodbye to Rachel, and she walks off, and she's like, I'm going to go talk to my friend. If you want to have a real conversation, come and talk to me. I assume it's after that, or maybe after Jimmy and Michael go to Jimmy's office. We get the friend. I assume that it's Jimmy's wife, because Rachel goes and talks to Sarah Rethrick. So I assume that's Jimmy Rethrick's wife. It wasn't very clear. Rachel asks, who is this guy? Tell me about him. And Sarah says that he's not. He used to be married, and his wife worked for Jimmy. She was 8 months pregnant, and both her and the baby died.
How? What?
Yeah. I don't know. They didn't... That was the whole scene. The whole scene was, so who is this guy? And he's like, well, he's all right. Is he married? No. Divorced? No, there was complications. Oh, what? Did the baby die? They both died. And that was it. Yeah. It was like,
I guess that kind of explains the ring that he has later.
No, that's separate. That's after he does the whole machine thing, and also double no, because that's explained in the alternate ending, slightly.
No, they explain in the regular movie why the ring was there.
That's true. So there's a third reason in the alternate ending for why he has it. Oh my god! I can't even tell you how much more I hate this film now that I've seen all the deleted and alternate scenes. There is one scene that I fucking hate them for deleting. There's it really drives the I don't know his name, but I wrote down the black FBI guy. You know,
Miles Dyson. He played Miles Dyson in Terminator 2.
Oh, okay. I was just like, that's not his name in this film, dude. I don't know what you're doing.
Black FBI agent.
Yeah. It's like Dodge or something like that. I wrote it down somewhere. It's a scene where he's like, no, Attorney General, this is wrong. It's a big thing where he kind of like stands up to him for a second, and it's like a total it kind of brings his character home. But they deleted it, so it's just like, I don't know why this guy's in this film. Yeah. It's garbage. So yeah, Jennings has a dead wife and baby that they never mention, they never bring up again.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it was still it was horrifying to see that was in there. Yeah, so Jennings and Michael go into Jennings' office, Jimmy and Jennings go into Jimmy's office. There's too many fucking names in this film. Oh my god. I hate it. He pitches a job in optics. And he's like, it's for 3 years, and he's like, I gotta think about it.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, guaranteed 8 figures, stock options, and this and that.
Yes, which there was apparently a clue in that scene where Michael points to a crystal ball and he goes, oh, what does this thing work? And he goes, oh, no, I wish.
Yeah.
And so, apparently there's a lot of, watch out for those illusions there. Uh-oh. Things are going down. So, yeah, Michael goes home and he's just, thinking back. We have, an audio flashback to all the things they were saying today. Yeah. And for some reason, he looks at a palm reading statue, which never comes back in the film.
It does.
It does?
It totally does.
What?
Oh, all right, I'm just going to fucking jump. So the machine, it's kind of hinted that it works through palm reading.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Because you put your palms on the thing, and when Ben Affleck uses it at the end, and he's like, bloop, 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 it zooms in on the crystal ball that his hand's resting on, and you see it the electricity going into his palms, all the lines on his palms.
Oh my god.
Wow, yeah.
The fucking machine is based on palm reading.
How did you make me hate this film more? How did you do it?
Which I was wondering why they showed that palm, the palm reading here, because I was just like, there's got to be a reason for it, but nice.
That's it. That's
wow.
exactly.
Wow.
It's so fucking ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
Just so you know, guys, the director of this movie was John Woo.
Oh, yeah.
Hard-boiled, Face-Off.
Yeah. to go further, the story is based on a short story by
Philip K. Dick.
Yeah, who wrote
Yep.
things like Minority Report, Blade Runner, Total Recall. I think it's the screenwriter, if you want to place blame. The screenwriter, his name's Dean Gregarious. He wrote Lara Croft Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life, the 2004 version of The Manchurian Candidate, and he was the executive producer for both What Happens in Vegas and Life of Pi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But he wrote the screenplay for this, so I assume with the Tomb Raider and the Manchurian Candidate rewrite, it's probably his fault.
I'll get into it later when we get to the end of the movie, but the Philip K. Dick short story is way different.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like,
Alright.
there's the basic premise is kind of sort of there,
Yeah, I would assume so.
but it's like the reasonings and the
Yeah.
whys and how, all different.
My name's Michael Jennings. Different story.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, man. So, yeah. Michael arrives on the job site in a helicopter, and a man called John Wolfe greets him and tells him, this is the campus, you're going to be living here, blah, blah, blah. Give me everything, even your sunglasses. They go into Jimmy's office. Everyone greets.
Yeah.
They go down to business. Wolf pulls out this weird, like, Men in Black style gun. And then he's like, whoa, what are you doing with that? And they're like, this is part of the memory wipe. We put a diode or whatever it is, a marker in, and then another one later. And that's, so we don't have to cook your brain. And then he's like, all right, fine, let's go ahead. And they shoot him. And then they go to start the job. They go into the main lab. And a woman speaks to Jimmy, and so he's off. And then, Michael Jennings is just wandering around the lab. Eventually, a windstorm kicks up, and everyone laughs at him. He's like, I give up. Turns out it's Dr. Rachel Porter,
Yep.
and she's playing a trick on him. He apologizes for the way he acted at the party, and they kind of get close for a second. And then Jimmy shows up and says he's working here now. And then Rachel leaves, and they go over to a door. And this is when that lab partner is introduced that I assume is a Nazi.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
understand how that works.
They explain later that he was a nuclear physicist working.
Okay. I
for
think
the
it's
government.
Shorty who explains all this.
Well, the FBI does.
Oh.
And Shorty.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of, there's exposition on both
Okay.
sides.
I think the problem I had is there was a long time in the film where I didn't know who was Decker and who was Rethrick.
Yeah.
So I was like,
no,
wait,
Decker
who's
is the evil German nuclear
Yes.
physicist.
Yes.
And he's the
Rethrick
one who
is-
came up with the idea for the machine, yet somehow it was this nuclear physicist
Yeah.
who was working for the U.S. government, came up with the idea, but
Of nonsense.
it took Ben Affleck to build it. It took Jennings, like this random dude who, we don't even know if he has a degree. Like, they were college roommates, but Ben Affleck might have dropped out. Like, Jennings might have, we don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't, like, I'm Dr. Jennings. No, that's never explained.
They both went to college together, and they realized, dude, did you realize I'm rich and you're smart? Let's just start another business.
Yeah. And by start a business, I mean...
Go our separate ways and then reconnect 10 years later in an awkward story.
So, yeah, I mean, they're like, all right, time to start the job.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, before we go on, I just want to say, like, is Uma Thurman's character, Rachel, like, is she retarded? Like, why would you start a windstorm in the middle of a lab? Like, I understand you're, like, look at this, I'm playing a joke, but there are scientists conducting experiments. Like, you don't... I don't know. I was just
They
like,
don't
how
really
is she...
seem to be conducting experiments as much as they just seem to be dicking around.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, they were pretty much just, like, poking plants. Like, when they first walked in there, I was like, wait, does he run, like, a marijuana grow operation? That was what I was thinking. I was like, oh, this is why he couldn't mention... But what does that have to do with optics?
Yeah. That's another thing I didn't like until I think until, like, the last scene in the film do I realize what a fucking abstract design this lab has. Why do they put the optics project
Right next to the plant?
right next to
It's
the biology?
literally like you open the
Yeah,
door.
just a thick door, that's it. Not even like, oh, let's put this in another room. No, it's in the same room,
Yeah.
closed off by a door. Like, I was
It's
just
like,
like,
it's like they just hung a curtain.
yeah! It's like a college apartment. Just put this divider.
Yeah, it's just...
And now I have 2 rooms.
Yep.
Oh, man. Yeah, so that's it. Flash forward. Like you said, job's
Yep.
done. Michael goes home and checks on stock value. $92 million. He's just, what? Yeah, he's going crazy. It's great. So yeah, he heads off to the bank.
Yep.
Looking all clean pressed and such. He goes in, he signs a bunch of paperwork. Very dramatic once he puts his signature on it.
Yeah.
I couldn't, like, I didn't figure out why. Even all the way at the end, I was like, I still don't get it. I guess maybe that was him being like, yep, this was me. Dun, dun, dun. Like, I didn't, yeah, it was beyond me. But yeah. Boom. Signs it, gets his personal effects, opens it, goes, oh, this is not mine. There was a mistake. Something like that. Whatever, I don't really care right now. Just give me my money. And she's like, you forfeited the money and all your shares. And it was changed recently. And he's like, what the... and just gotta be a mistake. And he leaves.
Yeah.
I don't understand why when he's like, all right, let me just talk about my money. Here's what I want to do with my money. I want to get my money and maybe buy some stocks. When he says that, she like starts to smile and lean in like, okay, all right. Like,
I got a surprise for you.
yeah,
crazy
like
guy.
she was like, all right, where's this joke going? Like, I was like, why didn't you be like...
Well, let's continue with the premise that Ben Affleck's a dick. When he signed over his stocks, what if he was like, hey, I'm going to come back in like 4 weeks, and I'm going to ask for my money.
No! Now he's his own Tyler Durden. Is that what you're saying to me? This is...
Think about it. He's basically, this is his opportunity to like seriously fuck with himself.
Yeah, if you think about it, yeah. And you know what you should totally do at the end? Call the FBI. I totally wouldn't expect that one.
So he really is his own Tyler Durden.
Yeah, he's throwing a wrench into his own shit.
It's the same thing. The girl's like, fuck you, Tyler. Why don't you remember me? And it's just the deeper hatred of this film. Stop doing it, goddammit, guys! Which I didn't want to point out, but earlier on, I was like, why is this, what is with this, like, Pulp Fiction thing when the German scientist opens up the briefcase
and it's
closed
glowing.
blue. Yeah, and I was like, what is that? What do important things give off light?
Yeah, well,
What is...
especially when we find out that all it was lens so perfectly
the theory, yeah.
focused that it can see around the universe.
The curve of the Earth. Back
of
at
the universe, of time and space. It can see around the curve of time and space.
I'm pretty sure they kept saying around the curvature of the Earth.
No, they were saying around the curvature of the universe.
They were saying the universe, yeah.
The curvature
It doesn't even... What?
Because what had happened was...
It's like how my eyeball can see the curvature of my skull.
Exactly, yeah. And like right now, your eye doesn't look straight out. It looks down and around and then out.
With the quarter in, it goes up and down and around. It's a merry-go-round. Every turn of this film, I just go, what the fuck just happened? What are you doing?
That's the thing.
This
like,
is such pseudoscience bullshit.
I was just so confused. Everyone was confused. I was confused. The characters on the screen were confused. Nobody knew what was going on.
90% of Affleck's facial reaction was
just like
confusion.
bewilderment.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Just half the time he's going like, huh? What? Wait, huh?
They just filmed his reaction to the first time reading the script, and they were like, you've already filmed it, here's your check. And he was like, that's a good title.
It's like the episode of Futurama. Just splice in some reaction scenes.
That was it. I did kind of feel like there was a lot of scenes where people were just acting like to a wall, and then they just spliced in the other people.
There's a scene when he runs, like he runs through like a bus station and like dodges between buses, and it cuts to all the people who they're just standing still. They didn't like move offline to see what's going on. They're just still standing there. It's just they're like, guys, act shocked and like confused, and everyone just goes, oh. But literally nobody even like does the whole like lean to look and see. No, everyone just stays perfect. Like, what? Huh? And this movie had way too much slow motion.
I think that's just like a John Woo thing, I think.
Yeah, but alright. Slow motion and bullet time can work when there are fucking cool action scenes. When you have Chow Yun-Fat sliding down a banister or awesome. Go for it. I'm all about the bullet time.
They had the gun fu in here, kinda. Barely. Because there was the scene in Union Station later on where he's running away from the gunmen and he's fighting them too, sort of.
Kind of, but not really.
Yeah, it's like a one-sided gun fu.
I don't know if you notice this. Ben Affleck doesn't kill anybody.
No.
Nobody.
Never.
And in fact, I started taking a tally at the end. I'm pretty sure Uma Thurman takes out just as many people as he does.
Good for her. At least there's some equality.
Yeah, no, but like they set this motherfucker up at the beginning, like, oh, look how badass he is with the bow staff, and it comes into play at the end of the movie for 3 minutes, and that's it.
It was literally just to be like, oh yeah, we forgot about that.
Oh yeah. So
shit.
someone was like, shouldn't he use that bow staff? And they were like, I guess. And it's fucking literally pulled out of a garden.
I presume after that happened, Uma Thurman was like, how come I don't have a weapon? And they're like, use the lab, the whole lab. Just use the lab. Jumped way ahead at this point.
Yeah,
but
well, I don't even know where we are right now.
after the bank from the first time. He comes back home, he calls Jimmy's office. Jimmy's not there, obviously.
Yeah.
For us, obviously.
Oh, no, yeah, Jimmy, you stepped out. Go fuck yourself.
Right. Michael notices his front door is open when it was very clear that he closed it when he came in. He starts walking around, he hears noises, runs for get a bat. Some guy, he starts fighting a guy with a gun, blah, blah, blah.
Another
they fight.
guy.
Another guy pops in, he starts fighting. Then a guy just pops in the front door, tases him. Boom.
Yeah.
Why does Michael have hospital-grade doors in his house? Did you
Don't
notice?
know.
What was
Yeah.
that? That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I don't know. I wanted to know what was going on in his house, that he had to have that thick, and apparently that you can just open that.
Yeah.
Just at any time. There's
Apparently,
no locks.
Yeah, apparently, you just push them and they just open.
That was his security, that someone would just go, oh, this is a hospital. I don't want to rob this house. This is a hospital. I gotta leave.
So he wakes up and he's in the FBI.
Yes, in another weird chair.
This is a really
30% of this film is weird chairs.
Yeah. I did not understand this
Just strange
at
furniture.
all. Basically, the FBI's, you're a traitor, you've been working espionage and treason and blah blah blah, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And one of the FBI agents like clicks a button on the floor and the chair just starts spinning.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense to me, because then they start showing him something on a projector and he keeps having to turn his head to see the screen. Like,
I mean, realistically, it could have just been fucking just interrogation tactics, just to fuck with him, just make him loopy and make him just that's how interrogation tactic works. They're not all choke you to death. Sometimes it's just put you in a room full of lambs and give you a shear. And just what am I supposed to do? Just sitting there. Just what do I do? I don't know, man. You figure it out.
it was just because they're talking to him and they're like, and this guy, Dr. Evil Nazi scientist, blah blah blah, and they're like, look, and all these things have your signature. All these patents for the secret design have your signature on them. And he's just the entire time he's like, guys, I can't see the projection. You guys got there it is.
Oh, getting sick.
Yeah,
Getting sick.
guys, I get motion sickness.
Gotta slow it down.
Yeah, it all happens very, I mean, I don't know if, it's meant to be, okay, this is the interrogation, this is the hard-hitting, badass FBI, we're like, you're not getting a lawyer, buddy, because the Attorney General came right to me and told me, you're trouble, man.
Yeah.
It's just, because they just throw him in a chair, start spinning him, and they're like, what happened? How come you don't remember? Tell us something. We can help you out. Tell us something. And he's like, I don't remember. They mind wiped. And right away, they're like, boop, press the button. The chair arms pop out and lock him in place. And already, the spinning chair also has the function of the memory recovery.
Goes into gynecology mode. He gets laid back. His memories are starting to... I couldn't figure out what were they doing. They were re-extracting memories? How do you... They took those memories out of his brain. How do you...
Well, I don't know if they take it out. I think it's
Am I to believe that memories are just an air-filled sack and you zap them with a laser and the air comes out? And,
Apparently.
and then you blow them back up and you remember again?
You put the straw in and you go...
and you just read it real quick before it deflates.
Yeah, haven't you watched cartoons? You just take his thumb and you blow into his thumb and he reinflates. It doesn't make any sense because... Well, they explain, first of all, the way his mind is originally wiped of his memory is through the laser machine.
Yes.
But this time it's done chemically, and later on Shorty explains, well, it would have to be done chemically, but that would leave residual blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Which it's all just pseudoscience bullshit, like you said.
Yeah.
They're just throwing not even big words, just vaguely scientific words at the screen, hoping people will go, yeah, that's science.
I really didn't enjoy it.
Another movie? Surprise.
Did not enjoy any of this happening at all. So yeah, they try to re-extract them. Doesn't work, because, English, which is... one of them is like, whatever, I'm gonna go take a smoke break. One of the guys is like, oh, use his cigarettes, he won't care. Which, clearly they just wanted to be a dick to him so bad that they forgot about fires.
Apparently they're smokeless cigarettes. It says on the packaging, smokeless cigarettes.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I only caught that. I read something online and I was like, really? And then I went back and watched and it's like, Lucky Strike smokeless cigarettes.
What?
Weird.
But then that's why when the FBI agent, he inhales and he goes, he's like, what the fuck? And he's panicking.
Oh, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I thought he just forgot how cigarettes work.
That's the problem is they never set up the whole smokeless cigarette thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they do the whole cigar thing. Wait a minute, Johnson, fire alarm off. And yeah, they do that, but they never set up the fact that they're smokeless cigarettes exist.
Exactly. Whatever.
Shit.
The alarm goes off, a bunch of smoke and red alarm. I don't know what type of fire extinguisher this thing is, but it clearly creates danger more than safety. 100%. All the lights turn a dangerously deep red.
Yeah, they just turn off and they're like, well, let's just suffocate the fire by filling the room with smoke.
Yeah. I don't know. But no, they do that. Jennings breaks free of the chair.
Well, no, apparently the chair is somehow tied to the fire system.
Oh, safety. So you gotta let the terrorist go, I guess.
You're interrogating a terrorist. If a fire breaks out, you want to make sure he can just break free.
So whatever, yeah. He grabs the envelope, he puts the glasses on.
Which let him see in the smoke.
That's not at all how light...
But remember, he's been working for 3 years, and we don't know how far technology has come.
To be fair, this is another product that should be used in public, all the time. I can see in any condition. You don't put on glasses and then can see through thick smoke.
This would be great.
There should be firemen everywhere that have this.
Yeah, considering the fact that we can install this on windshields in the car, so for heavy fog. I could just see.
They present so many better and much more useful products in this movie that you never see again. And none of them are it's in developmental. It's no, that's an advertisement for they're done. They're ready to sell. And it's just never
Once
again.
Affleck's a dick.
Why does he control the whole universe?
I don't think he necessarily controls.
He could. Who knows how many times he's erased his own memory and used the machine to... I don't know, whatever. So he
escapes.
Yeah, he runs out of the room, and he runs out, kicks some FBI guys on the way, and keeps running. Across the street from the FBI building, Wolf is eating pie, and he's like, "Oh, goodbye, Michael." And then he sees him running away, and he's like, "Oh, what happened?" I guess he just "Oh, he's definitely gonna die in there." And then they run into a bus depot, and the FBI chase him in there. They kind of break up and get lost. Michael bumps into somebody, drops his envelope. He notices, oh, there's a ticket. I can use it to get away. Hops to the thing. That's when you said when the people are just all right, just act surprised. Because he runs through 2 buses that narrowly miss him, and that's it. They don't know where he is. But he's on one of the buses, apparently.
Yeah, and he's digging through the envelope. He's looking. He pulls out all the shit. He pulls out the ring, and he puts it on the envelope because he's analyzing. And then there's some dirtbag kid who's oh shit, a ring. There's a whole fake trip and grab the ring.
Exactly.
And when Ben Affleck realizes, he just, the kid books it off the bus. Affleck chases him and he ends up back at the Reddy and Grant.
That bank.
I think it was
the
Reddy
bank.
and Grant.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure the kid, besides stealing the ring from Affleck, also steals a backpack as he runs out.
Oh, I thought that was his backpack he was grabbing. Maybe everybody in this world is a dick. Because Uma Thurman is clearly a dick. Two-Face is clearly a dick. Ben Affleck, everyone's just dicks.
Yeah,
the only nice guy is the FBI agent.
And only at the end.
Yeah, and Paul Giamatti.
In the beginning, they're dicks. I mean,
Yeah.
they're just doing their job, but they're dicks. I mean, never mind. I was gonna say so are the Nazis, but I don't want to.
Yeah, we're not gonna discuss about. We're not gonna
go.
talk about the good Nazis,
No.
just the bad Nazis.
The ones that worked on nuclear physicists for the United States government.
Yeah, Operation Paperclip,
Whoa.
as it is called when we recruited all the Nazis.
Yeah, so inside the bank, he goes back to what I heard it was ready, Getty, and steady. He gets inside and he's like, "Oh, it's okay. I'm not here to kill you." He's like, "Who sent the packages?" She's like, "You did."
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why. This is all very weird. It's also weird because she's like, "I don't know what's going on. Let's see what's going on."
Yeah.
Oh, it was you. This is weird. Why are you here? Every time she gives this like, "Let's see if we can figure this out." Oh, this is strange. You're a freak. I guess she was one of the good actresses in the film. Then there you go, that lady. So yeah, he runs out. Yeah, he's like, "Oh, it was me," and he runs away. We jump to Altcom. Jimmy says Michael Jennings died at 3:03, and he says like, "What did you do different?" He's talking to Wolf, and he's like, "I had pie." He's like, "Pie?"
Dude, that was ridiculous. I don't know why, but he was like, "Where were you? What were you doing?" He was like, "I was eating pie." I did. It was so.
Two
fucking-
people, like, they weren't the ones that I wrote down, but different people in their reviews were like, "I'm eating pie." Like, apparently that's the quote of the film. So,
That's what they took away from the movie.
I mean, I was eating pie.
I was eating pie. That pie didn't even look good.
No, it didn't. He only ate half of it. It must not have
To
been.
be fair, I don't think any pie looks good. I'm not a pie fan.
Oh, no pie looks good. Some pies taste good.
Yeah.
But no pie. You always look at pie, you go, something went wrong.
Yeah.
You did something wrong.
Alright, so we're going to talk about pie for the next 30
Oh,
minutes
yeah.
instead of the next 4 hours of
Pie and its
Paycheck.
connection to the movie Twins. No, surprisingly, we still have like 4 more pages to go worth of shit.
Okay, so they're trying to figure out, well, how come something went wrong? The only people who knew about Jennings' death were you
and
and
me,
I,
and I didn't do anything.
who else could have
And you didn't do
possibly
anything,
known?
and
It's
we
not
didn't
like
do anything.
it's not like Jennings built the machine or anything. Oh shit, Jennings built the machine and probably saw that he was gonna die. Like this again incompetence. His plan is literally, let's get him to build a machine for us and then kill him. But the machine is going to tell him the future.
Yeah.
So he can literally...
I want to say that's literally his plan, because there's no like, okay, now what do we use the machine for? We just use it. How? I don't know. Just use it all day, every day.
I just wanted to kill him.
Yeah, that
Dude,
was
you
it.
didn't need him to build the machine to kill
I have
him.
a gun right here.
There's so many times in this movie where people are doing the whole Mexican standoff and literally are like touching each other with their guns, and they just go, "All right, let's
Let's
stop
walk
this."
away now. Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my god.
There's so many times they just molest each other with guns and then just walk away.
They're probing each other's mouths with the guns.
Like they're like 2 dogs and the guns are their noses. They just come up and rub them on each other and go, "Oh, all right, I'll see you later, Bill." So yeah,
And then every time after the whole gun rubbing, like afterwards they go, "Okay, now we can fight." After they put their guns away, they're like, "Now we'll have a shot. Or now we'll
now
fight."
we fight. So yeah, they go down to the machine to check it up. Starts up. Everything seems fine. Oh, error 41.
Yep.
Wolf is like, "Oh, that's it. Go fight."
Let's find Jennings.
Yeah, let's go. Whatever. Go find Jennings, Wolf. I was really hoping that error 41 was going to come back somehow. Like it was a
I
significant.
thought the 41 would be significant.
No.
Like, I honestly thought later on, he's error 41. Beep, boop. Oh, the Red Sox, 41. Jackie Robinson.
That's 42.
All right. Thanks, Dick.
Wait,
Thanks,
who?
Ben Affleck.
Oh, I think it meant Daniel's the dick for telling you that was the wrong number. I was like, what did he do? Oh, so into a seedy hotel room. This is when I start to get an eerie vibe about this film. And I don't realize what the vibe is until the end. So I'll mention it when I realize, but here is where I start to get this vibe. In the hotel room, Jennings looks at everything in his envelope. There's a fortune from a fortune cookie, has lucky numbers on the back, an all compass, hairspray, an Allen key, a lighter, a paper clip, a key with a little Edison marker on it, just a little, just a quarter.
It's a 50-cent piece.
Oh, was it? Was it a
it's
quarter?
like
Oh,
a
I
50
didn't.
cent.
Whatever. Money has no value to me. A bullet and a watch. 20 items. He flashes back to everything he thought over the day. The lab partner that he had that's dead now, Deckard. Jimmy says he never heard of him because that's how the job works, obviously.
Yep.
FBI's after him. They call Shorty, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I can help you. Whatever."
His brother,
at you.
Shorty.
Yeah, I guess this is where we find out he's his brother, or is it from later?
It's at Union Station?
The FBI says it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it must be. Yeah, there's a scene later on where they're like, "Yeah, we patched his phone or whatever."
Wait, really? I missed this part where the FBI knows about his brother.
Yeah.
Wait, did you watch the deleted scenes? Because that may be a deleted scene.
No, I don't watch the deleted scenes.
I don't know.
I don't remember that part. But, I mean, I'll wait till the end. But there's a part at the end where I feel like it fucks up the entire ending of the movie.
What, like during the fight scene?
No, like the very, very end.
Oh, like the absolute end?
Yeah.
Like the... Okay, all right.
All right, I'll wait.
Yeah,
because-
yeah, I know.
So somehow Jennings gets a flashback. He sees a stuffed bird. Is this right? Because he goes to the Union Station.
Yes.
He sees the stuffed
The
bird.
has the flashback to the birds.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
oh, I remember real birds.
Yeah, oh yeah, they were I think green conures or something like that.
He notices the Edison dude.
Yeah, the
and
maintenance
and
man.
key.
Then Shorty shows up. They hug. They get a table. Michael tells him Shorty the situation. Shorty says, the weird part is you let that money go, and he's like, let's work backwards, which is like the key
Yeah.
to his character. Even though they only bring it up like 2-3 times.
Yeah,
but that's his thing. He's a reverse engineer. He's got to work backwards. So they start thinking about stuff, whatever. Shorty says that Decker was working for the FBI on a laser, but that it would cost $500 billion just to see if it worked.
God damn.
And so, they're like, I guess we're not going to do that. And as he's explaining this, Michael realizes that the lotto numbers on the TV that are coming up match the lucky numbers on his fortune. He's like, I think I realized what I did. I gave up the money so I'd pay attention to this, so I realized that we're trying to see with the machine the future.
What?
Yeah. Jump to Allcom. Apparently, Michael put a virus in the machine, but it's not software, it's hardware. So there's like, I looked at it and kind of did the math real quick. I may be off, but there's apparently 40 circuit slabs, pretty much, like circuit boards, basically a little bit bigger than a skateboard. Mm-hmm. And there's 40 of them, and somewhere on one of them, which is they're double-sided too, there's a single circuit that needs to be removed.
Oh my god.
Which I don't think that's how circuitry works.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, I don't think you could just put let me just put this gum wrapper on here, and that'll change everything. But it's crazy to me that. Oh, and then Jimmy's like, "Can you do it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can do it. It'll just take some time." And he's like, "Go kill Jennings."
Kill Jennings. We don't
Which to me is insane because apparently this whole 3-year project went by, and not once did they go, "We need a maintenance guy for this machine."
Yeah.
Not like that. I guess
Nobody thought, what happens if this thing breaks down?
I guess this guy was their best bet, but he doesn't.
Well, I guess then once they finish it, they're going to be like, oh, the machine's going to break down next week, so we should get on fixing that.
They hope the machine
The
predicts its own
machine would
breaking.
be like, hey, man, I'm going to break down in a couple weeks. You should find a maintenance guy.
Oh, well, that's a weird feature of the machine. Why can't it just tell you how to fix itself then, I guess?
Well, it's Siri isn't around yet.
Whatever. So yeah, we go back to Union Station. Shorty and Michael argue whether or not time travel is possible. But this is different because it's only time viewing.
Yeah. Through palm reading.
Oh my god. Apparently his lab partner Decker, the scientist, nuclear physicist, fell out of a window. So he can't ask him for help. Shorty's like, oh, he fell out of a window and tries to run because he's like, I don't want to get involved with this.
Out.
But he's like, no, don't run. We're gonna figure this out. And look, I have this envelope. Clearly, I did some things to help myself, and these things keep getting me out. They got me out of the FBI. They got the thing right, and everything's right. Michael notices Wolf in the distance,
Yep.
and then some undercover men start to shoot at Jennings and Shorty. Not cop undercover, just thugs who are dressed like normal people, pretty much.
Which I thought was funny because everybody has their gun concealed except for the first guy who shoots at him. Literally, like takes the gun out and in the most obvious way, but nobody in Union Station is like, "Hey, that dude has a gun and is shooting."
He's got a silencer.
Yeah, but he's holding it out in the
It's a silencer.
it's not an invisible.
Maybe it is the future. We don't know.
Yeah, it's 2007, the future.
So yeah, they start to run as the men continually casually shoot everything. Like they just there's no time where the people of Union Station start going, "Oh my god, a gun!" Like these men are just walking around casually, just pew, 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 pew,
Yeah.
shooting behind things.
And stuff's exploding. Like stuff's getting hit by bullets and exploding. And people are like, "Wow, that's weird that stuffed animal cart just exploded."
Yeah.
Whatever.
Literally, that was the first thing, was like stuffed animal car exploded,
Yeah.
and they were just like, "Oh!" And that was it. Everybody went about their business. They were just like, "Oh, what a weird marketing ploy." And then kept going.
They fight and fight and fight, and Jennings gives Shorty the key to get into the Edison closet, which is apparently like the maintenance room. Shorty kills all the lights, which I guess the dimly lit room allows Jennings to openly fight guys with guns, because that's basically what happens. He ends up charging guys like one at a time and fighting them, even though they have guns.
But it works. He does it real well, and he fights them and he leaves.
Yeah, they run down to the subway.
Yeah. Well, actually, I thought to point this out because I thought it was weird that this happened and he still got away. Which was he's running around fighting the guys with the guns.
Yeah.
And then he gets thrown through a window.
Yeah, they just straight up they kick him and he does a back roll over a desk, through a window, onto the floor.
And just gets up
And
and
then
runs
just gets
away.
up and takes off, yeah.
Runs away. Somehow he lost the guys. He runs downstairs to the subway, runs into a maintenance tunnel. A total maintenance. Like there's just pipes and stuff, no tracks or anything like that.
Yet all the thugs are down there already.
Yeah, I don't know how. And in opposite parts. So they took other ways down there, which is amazing.
The future machine. Even though they don't have it.
They don't have it, but they used it. So yeah, they catch up to him and kind of trap him around a corner, one on each side. And he uses that lighter and hairspray to make a flamethrower, blinds one. They both shoot each other, and then Michael grabs a gun and runs away. He keeps running. He falls into subway tracks, which I don't know. I guess I don't know why he had to fall into them, but he falls into subway tracks, and then
this is when Wolf shows up.
Yes, well, first he disarms one of the guys that runs after him.
Yeah.
Takes the gun from him, and then Wolf shows. He's like, "Where's your gun?" He's like, "He has it." And then Wolf shoots the guy.
Yeah.
Boom, he's dead.
And
Which I don't even think there's a corpse there.
There's not.
No.
There's not. The train doesn't go goom and go. Did I hit something? Should I slow down?
There wasn't a scene where Wolf was like, "Ew."
Yeah.
It's all that goo.
So then they do the Mexican standoff, holding the guns against each other.
Yes.
And they're like, "So is you." Yeah.
And then Wolf just like, "Well, you're stuck on train tracks, so see ya."
Yeah, he's like, "You're gonna die now." And he slowly backs away.
And then that's it. He just,
And then Ben Affleck drops the clip out of his gun and kicks it into the third rail.
I think so.
Which blows up all the bullets.
Oh, just the bullets.
And causes a distraction, which allows...
I want to point out again, doesn't shoot the bullets.
No,
they explode.
Yeah, they explode.
Bullets explode.
Which cause a diversion, which allows him to run 20 feet down the track where he notices an electrical box.
Yes.
Cracks it open and starts wiring it as Wolf is shooting at him.
Yes.
And missing every
with a
time.
paper clip.
Yeah.
No, he's shooting at him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's literally standing there with the paper clip from the envelope, going zzz, zzz, trying to stop the train, and Wolf is going bang, 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 and just wildly missing.
Yes.
Even though Ben Affleck is at this point standing still.
How is a whole train operated by one maintenance box?
Well, it's the future. It's 2007. That's how trains are operated without people. It's all maintenance boxes.
Yeah, I didn't...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't...
But whatever. He's using that wire on the box, and it doesn't work, so he runs. and he's running from the train, and all of a sudden the current just turns on.
Yeah.
I don't know what it happened, but
Also, that's the slowest subway train I've ever seen. He is literally at one point just running. Like,
I think like no matter how long the track was, he could have successfully outrun.
yeah.
It. Like even if it was like a mile, like 3 miles to the next station.
No,
he
he was fine,
He would have
yeah.
been fine. Didn't matter. So yeah, catches. He trips and it's like, oh no! But the train stops anyway.
Yeah, because
like I thought I was gonna get a lot closer to him. Like no, his body isn't anywhere near under the
No.
train. Like not even his toes or
Yeah.
like.
It's not even
yeah.
like it does the like right up against his face.
no.
No, it's just it stops like back there a couple
No. Yeah.
feet. So that gives him the opportunity to take off running. Then this is where we get the explanation from the FBI. The Attorney General I think this is where the Attorney General explains, well, Decker's idea was to make a machine that focuses the vision around a lens so laser enhanced that you could see around the curvature of time and space, and you could see yourself.
See, I have Earth written down
No,
here.
he definitely says around the curvature. I don't know if he says the curvature of the universe or the curvature of like time or the curvature of
He says
space.
the universe.
Yeah,
What
but
I have written down here is that Decker's machine allows you to see around the curve of the Earth, and then that you could see around Earth right back at yourself, and you'd be looking at yourself in the future.
yeah, it's that explanation, but it's the universe that he said. He's like you could see around the curvature of the universe.
I don't know why I have Earth written down.
And then Black
yeah.
FBI agent is like, oh, only you're not seeing yourself now, you're seeing yourself in the future. And
Yeah.
they're like, exactly.
not.
And that's not, I feel like that shouldn't, no.
No, that's exactly not how light travels at all. If you could successfully do that, you'd be seeing yourself, I think, in the past.
Yeah, in the past, yeah.
Yeah. That's just, like, if you could find a way to look at Earth, like, right now,
Like
a certain distance away, you'd see dinosaurs, because that's how long it takes for light to
when
travel.
when you look up at the sky and you see stars,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not like the stars right now. That's like the
No.
stars however many years. Like,
A
it's
large
10 light
percentage
years
of those are
away,
gone or
That's
not, but
10
yeah.
years. Yeah.
They're gone. There's nothing out there right now.
Well, there is. There's definitely. It's not just us.
No, yeah. I don't know exactly how light travel works, but there's probably a good chance that the stars we see aren't there, and stars that are there we don't see yet.
Yeah. So they explain they have to find Michael. And this is where a good black FBI agent is like, I don't think he's that bad of a guy.
Yeah, this is
I
where he has
saw-
doubts.
Yeah,
He was hurt.
he was hurt and scared. Yeah.
Like, whatever, we gotta find him before Rethrick finds him.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how, we just gotta do it. We go back to Michael's hotel room, and he has a dream of his death that he saw from earlier. And then he goes and he washes his face, and some water falls on the matchbook. And it turns out that the matchbook, the New Liberty matchbook from earlier,
it's not
it's
really-
not really
it's
New
a
Liberty.
Cafe
yeah.
Michel.
It's, Cafe Michel. And he calls him, asks if he made any sort of reservation of any kind, or blah, blah, and then he just hangs up. Like, we don't get an answer for if he did or he didn't. He's like, oh, all right, cool. And hangs up.
Yeah.
Jump to Allcom. Rachel's looking pictures of her and Michael on a refrigerator, and then she goes and feeds birds. Jimmy shows up, and he tells her that Michael left, and that his contract's up, he left, and she's incredibly hurt.
Yeah.
And then jump to, she takes a shower. This is where there's, I think, a sort of important deleted scene, or an alternate scene. Alternate scene, because it starts off the same way. Which is Jimmy Rethrick, comes in and talks about how Jennings left like normal.
Yeah.
But then he starts to sit down and talk to her like, no, it was $100 million. It's pretty hard for anyone to turn that down. Rachel starts to cry really hard and heavy. Rethrick puts his hand on her shoulder like he did the first time, and how it zoomed in like, whoosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does that again, but then after that, they sit down and they start talking, and then he does it again, touches her hand, and it zooms in, and you see there's a needle in his hand, and she starts to pass out, and he's like, did he tell you anything? And she passes out. Boom, bunch of Allcom guys bust in, break out the machine, start trying to check her
Camera.
memories, start putting cameras in all the places. Yeah, they check the memories to see if she knows anything, tells them, wipe this incident from her memory too, get rid of that. Wolf walks in. See, this is why I thought maybe you watched the deleted scene or something like that, but I wasn't sure, because this is where Wolf walks in and says, "We tapped Shorty's phone. We know they're going to Union Station." And so that's why they're there at Union Station.
But that had already happened. Okay.
Maybe I read too much into it. He said he tapped his phone, maybe not about Union Station.
Oh, okay.
But there's nothing else that Shorty does, so I don't understand why that's...
Yeah, Shorty just shows up at the end like, "Hey, guys."
That's so weird. But yeah, he talks about how, we tapped Shorty's thing, so now we know. And then Rachel wakes up later, not remembering anything. She just goes, "Oh, Michael." Oh, and she's like just sad.
Yeah.
So I guess...
Well, at least that would explain why there are cameras in her apartment.
Absolutely, yeah. I thought it was a
Instead
scene...
of just the fact that Retherick is just a deviant who watches Jennings and Rachel have...
Yeah, that was much creepier when I was like, is that just in every place? Like, this guy's a fucking deviant.
I mean, he's the guy who runs. He's like, "Yeah, no, you guys get your own employee, like, apartments for free. You don't have to worry about pay." And then he's got an entire room full of monitors where he can furiously masturbate at all of his naked employees.
Well, if anyone's furiously masturbating, it's both him and Wolf, because they're both watching into her apartment to see if Jennings left any kind of clue.
Yeah.
While she's in the shower, or not in the shower, but in the bathroom,
Yeah.
she suddenly gets really happy or whatever and just starts to move things around or whatever. And Jimmy tells Wolf, when she leaves, go check it out, see what was in there, what she's so happy about. Dr. Porter, which Rachel, I don't know why I called her Dr. Porter. She's never referred to that in the film. She says goodbye to the birds and goes to leave for work. And as she leaves, a guard stops her. Not Jimmy. I call him Jimmy like 4 or 5 times in this. Jennings, Michael, is shown in his hotel room, also leaving to go to an area. In the lab, an assistant takes Rachel's bag, and the same guard's following her around the lab.
Yeah.
She goes up in that floaty hoverboard thing.
Yeah. And she,
yeah.
"Oh, do you want to come?" And he's like, "No, I'll stay down here." Like a
she
bitch.
goes up. Her lab assistant hands her the bag. She sneaks out a door, and she's gone. Jimmy and the Wolf are trying to figure out clues and stuff like that. He's like, "Oh, go here, turn this way. That's where she was in the picture. Let's figure it out."
They figure out.
Yeah, boom. Cafe Michelle, 1 p.m.
Yeah.
And right after that, Jimmy makes some woman try to look like Rachel with a computer. He does a computer program thing. Beep, 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 beep.
Which I don't understand, because he had met Rachel before he had his memory wiped.
Right.
He met her at the party.
Yeah. But...
Just briefly, so it wasn't...
Oh, you think...
So it wasn't
Yeah.
one of those where, like... Because they were all banking on the fact that he was going to remember who she was by the blue eyes. That's why the girl had the blue contacts on.
This is just going
Which, that's actually weirdly specific to know that he locked eyes with her at a party, and that would be the most prominent feature that he... I mean, maybe it's just because it's blue eyes, but...
Hey, they removed parts of his brain. What to think they didn't search in there also to see other things of his brain?
I guess that could be it.
Like a contingency plan.
No. Why would they have a contingency plan for that and nothing else?
Their contingency plan is that we're going to kill him with our future telling machine, and the future telling machine is going to tell us how we're going to kill him.
Well, Michael's waiting at Cafe Michelle, and the fake Rachel shows up. Jennings is, sort of cautious at first, but then just, jumps right into the idea that that's her.
And the whole time, Retherick is like, she has an earpiece, and he's coaching her on what to say, how to respond to
he's got a
Jennings'
camera, so
response.
he's watching too, all that stuff. Yeah, he's totally right in there with the conversation.
He's definitely a fucking voyeur pervert. He's got cameras in everything.
God, yeah, it's creepy. He wants to see the future, so clearly he has some sort of voyeur problem. He can't just let things be.
He's just doing it to see who's gonna have sex with who. That's it.
The whole machine. He's like, who's
I mean, that's kind of what humans design everything for. Like, we need high definition TV for porn. We need to see the future for porn.
Future porn.
Future porn.
Oh man, I'm not waiting now for that girl to turn 18. I go to the future.
Would that still be illegal?
No, because it's the future.
Yeah, but she's like 14
But-
now.
But that's so then theoretically it's me. I have to be around the time that she like it has to be me from when she's and not me from when she was the other.
What?
You guys completely don't understand how that machine works. You don't go into the future with the machine. If
No,
anything,
you
it would
see the
predict
future.
Yeah.
exactly. It would let you know if in the future you're gonna sleep with that 14-year-old.
No, but if you just want to watch porn of her when she turns 18,
Yeah.
is it illegal because she's 14 now, or is it legal because she's 18 in the future?
18 in the future because she's 18 in the video.
Well, there's no future porn laws.
Then why worry? Then why even bring it
I
up?
just answered your question.
Everybody go watch future porn. There are no limits. So, yeah, fake Rachel is like, no, it's totally me. It's totally real Rachel. And Wolf has got like a... I don't know how he's got a handgun with an extra long barrel on it and a scope, and he's like 90 yards away. Like there's no way he's gonna hit him. I was just like, what are you? Like I think this is the first time you've ever killed a man. Like what are you doing?
I'm pretty sure this is the first time anybody's ever killed anybody in these. Like,
It's the first murder in this universe.
yeah.
And
They're
it
all
escalates
just-
quickly then.
Yeah, they're so incompetent.
Look at Union Station. How many hitmen were there, and they all missed?
Yeah.
They couldn't kill
They literally had him
Shorty or
surrounded.
Jennings.
They had him surrounded. And at one point, Ben Affleck is standing up in the middle of a room, surrounded by hitmen, and because there's a kid with the balloon there, the guy misses. Which doesn't make any sense, because, like, the balloon is obscuring Ben Affleck's top half in that scene.
Yeah.
But you can see his bottom half, so you can predict, okay, well, if his legs are there, if I go straight up, that'll be his top half.
No, apparently not.
No, it turns out his head is 6 feet to the right of his legs because of that balloon.
And not even that. If the balloon is in your way, why not just push a kid out of the way or move to your left or to your right and then take the shot?
Yeah, I think you guys had presented a pretty solid argument that this is the first murder that's ever happened in this universe. I think maybe people in the universe genuinely think that guy fell out of a window. Like, nobody's like, oh, he fell out of a window, huh? No, it's like, oh my god, he fell out of a window? This happens all the time.
He fell out of a window. Like, that's why Shorty's so,
Yeah.
like, upset.
People can't die! What do you...
Yeah.
That's how serious it is. They reenacted the murder clause. That's the 4th edition of the Santa Claus movie, by the way. The murder clause. All right. So, yeah, Rachel. Or fake Rachel. And what's his name? We're talking. Eventually, Jimmy sees the envelope that he has. He's like, oh, that's how you're doing it. And he's like, no, I'm supposed to tell him that you're supposed to get something from the envelope. Oh, it's the key card. Give me that one. Here it is. All right. Boom, that's it. Let's done. Let's go. But then he's like, hang on a minute. Wait a minute. Because they go to kiss, and her contact moves. And
Yeah.
he sees the green behind the blue, and he's like, what's my favorite baseball team? And she's like, it doesn't matter. And she pulls a gun.
And the real Rachel shows up and, like, wallops her with a bag.
Fucking...
knocks her out.
What a concussion that woman
Yeah.
has. Oh my god.
Which, for what is supposed to be, I guess, an important question, what's my favorite baseball team? They really don't mention it at all that it's the Red Sox.
And there's no way that his roommate doesn't know. Like, his roommate, Rhetoric,
Yeah.
has to know. Because he's like, oh, by the way, the
couldn't
Red
have-
Sox.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, why didn't he?
It's the Red Sox.
Yeah. what did he do? You got the key card? All right, bye. Just runs out of the room. See ya.
he's going to watch future porn.
going to watch-
his machine's down.
Oh,
He's
he's-
got error 41. He can't
Gotta
watch future
watch
porn.
past porn.
Who wants to watch past porn?
No, they're even older.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
So, boom, Rachel smacks the girl in the face with the bag. They're like, let's go. Well, first they get shot at. And they're like, let's go. But then he's like, hang on, the key card. Now let's go. They run out into the open. Somehow everyone's not shooting at them.
Yeah.
They're just like, let's just go out into the open.
This was the worst car chase
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because it goes on for about 6 minutes and nobody crashes until, like, they're literally driving against traffic.
Yeah.
Through the center lane.
Yeah.
The other cars are, one car's like weaving in and
Yeah.
out, and the other one's driving on the sidewalk, and nobody crashes for a good
No.
5 minutes.
No. Especially because One of them was a bike. I don't understand how a car kept so close to a bike. I can understand how a bike could weave in and out of traffic, but I don't understand how a full sedan car could keep up with the same weaving.
Except the bike doesn't weave. He literally just drives straight.
Oh yeah,
between the
in the
lanes.
beginning, yeah. At the end, when the crashing starts, before the crashing, they start weaving, and he keeping up with it. I'm like, no, you should be crashing now. And he weaves in and out, and I'm like, here comes the crash, weaves in and out. T-boned.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, even before that, they were around somewhere by the beginning of the car chase scene.
yeah.
Don't they get hit by two cars coming in together, like jamming them in the middle at one point? Or did I...
No, they turn real quick.
Yeah,
They jam two cars together to take him out.
Yeah, no, but then but then there was two cars next to them, and then didn't they like kind of come in like squished, like bump into them? Too?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
you did. I remember that.
Yeah, so
Affleck's-
shouldn't the motorcycle kind of like lost control
Yeah,
at that
Affleck's
point?
leg should be broken.
Yeah.
they should both be critically injured.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, wouldn't that have been the end of the car
Absolutely.
chase right there?
Oh yeah, that was garbage. I was just like, "There's you suck. You people suck."
And then she keeps mentioning, "Oh, you're just a good motorcycle driver."
Yeah.
For a good fucking motorcycle driver, pretty fucking good at weaving through traffic that's coming at
And
him.
can we talk about how we have this awesome, what's supposed to be an awesome chase scene, and they're wearing with the fucking nerdiest motorcycle helmets in the universe?
Oh,
It like they get on like, oh, this badass BMW motorcycle. It's like, now let's put on our Vespa helmet.
makes them look like they all have bowl cuts.
Yeah.
Now that we have this super hip motorcycle, let's all become members of the Beatles. All right, yeah. So the car that's chasing them gets T-boned. That guy's gone. FBI shows up in a helicopter. They're like, "We can help you, Michael. Let us bring you in." Blah blah blah. They drive to some like dump or a rock quarry or a shipping yard
So it's
or an abandoned lot. I don't know.
Industrial.
Yeah.
Vaguely industrial.
It could have been just one of those places that nobody uses, and then punk kids come in and they're like, "We're gonna use this as a skate park now."
Yeah.
Like it could have been that. Like I don't know. It could have been anything. But yeah, they drive there, and as they're driving, Rachel drops the envelope, and instead of being like, "All right, I'll just circle around, we can grab it," they stop. And they're like, "All right, let's split up."
Yeah.
And she gets
You
off
get
and
off
starts
and get
running.
it.
Yeah. She goes to get it. Somebody starts shooting at her. The other car's chasing Michael on the bike. Eventually, weaving it out of stuff. Eventually, the bike goes through a tube that it's very clear that the car won't fit through.
And the car's like,
And the
"Not
car
to make this-"
guns it and immediately explodes once it touches the pipe.
Again, I don't think people are aware of what like death is in this universe.
Yeah.
No, if this car crashes, I'll be fine.
It's like oh fuck, what is it? The Sylvester Stallone film with Sandra Bullock in the future. Greetings.
Judge's Drive?
No, the other one.
Oh.
Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Where like all the cars fill up with foam.
Stop or my mom will shoot.
Oh yeah, that's it.
That one.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock's in that film.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Demolition Man.
Dennis
yeah.
Leary and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, where everyone's just a murder, death, kill. Oh my goodness, that hasn't happened in 25
Yeah.
bleep glorks.
They still have years in that film. The only thing they changed was the seashells.
How did they work?
I read
How
something.
do you clean your beat the hole?
I read something from the director that said he was like, "I want to do something like weird for the future," and he was like, "I don't know. There's a bag of seashells in my bathroom as decoration. Use that." And he was like, "All right," and like that was literally it. So there is no use. It's just a lazy writer. Just a lazy writer.
What if they literally use the seashells like toilet paper?
I don't know. I don't understand. Somebody was like, you're supposed to use it like tongs, and someone was like, you use two to spread and another one to wipe, and I was like, you don't have that many hands? I don't know. Like, there were so many theories that came up. And
So you gotta hold them like chopsticks with one hand.
oh, that's exactly how they describe it, like chopsticks.
Wow.
And you just like chopstick your poop out of your butt.
The future.
Oh my god, no. Terrible. Give me a horse. I don't know what for. Just give me a horse. My kingdom for a horse, apparently.
So the car drives into the tube, clearly that it won't fit into, and explodes.
Oh, yes. And then the guy who's shooting at Rachel stops shooting for a second. Don't know why. Just stops shooting. She runs, gets the envelope, goes back to another area, just starts getting shot at again.
Yeah.
Jennings shows up with his bike. He uses the back tire to shoot rocks at the windshield like a gun.
Yeah.
The guy doesn't get hit by any of the rocks, but just goes,
Crashes and explodes.
yeah, crashes into a bulldozer and blows. Like, it really seemed
It
like he
didn't
got...
explode.
Yeah, it did.
It explodes and slow motion flips over them.
It really seemed like he got into a minor fender bender and then exploded. Like, it really didn't seem like anything happened to the car.
Maybe that's why then I didn't notice it, because I was wondering, I'm like, how did it sit, the second car hit the bulldozer and all that happens is the airbags come out, so I guess I must have zoned out for a second.
No, I'm pretty sure he like hits
flips.
it and just goes and like flips over them.
It looks like it's gonna land on them, but it flips and just like turns in midair and
Yeah.
goes up like nowhere near them.
And this is when the FBI, all the cops show up, and Wolf, who is also chasing them, is like, okay, never mind. Which, this bothers me, because the entire time, the FBI knows that Rethrick is involved. They're like, we know he's involved somehow with this future machine, but we have to get to Jennings to figure out what Rethrick is doing, right? Am I correct in that?
I think that's how it works.
They've got to know Wolf is, like, his right-hand man. There's no way the FBI doesn't know that Wolf is Rethrick's right-hand man, yet there are, like, 6 times in the movie where Wolf is just, like, right next to Jennings, and the FBI just run past him as the, like...
Yeah, like, he's just nobody to them. That, for a while, because of that, I thought that Rethrick and the FBI were working together.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely thought that. But no, not at all.
So this is the point where, like, the whole quarry fills with, like, state police and FBI and the helicopter, and they're all chasing Jennings
on the
and
bike,
Rachel.
on the bike, yeah.
And Wolf is just like, okay, never mind, and just drives away.
Yeah.
Even though the place is swarmed with cops, and someone should be like, what are all these exploding cars? And
Who's that survivor over there?
Yeah. No.
Garbage, yeah. They chase him. He falls, doesn't fall. He drives.
into a tunnel.
Yeah, into, I guess, like a drainage access tunnel.
I guess.
Like, it's just barely big enough for a car to fit in.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally, like, the same size as a car.
And, like, a state trooper follows him. I felt kind of bad for this guy, because he's totally just doing his job. He's not even, like, shooting at them.
No, yeah.
He's just following them, and his car gets all fucked up, and then Uma Thurman smashes him in the face with a motorcycle.
Yes. Which I was wondering how they were going to catch him, because before he goes in the tunnel, he's like, he's heading in the tunnel, stop him. And 2 cop cars just crash into each other in front of the tunnel. Like you would have murdered him and her. They would both be dead. You would have nothing.
Nobody's familiar with murder.
No, they don't. It's an astute observation by Danny Money. First time this murder has ever happened. Boom. Helmet goes into the cop's face. He passes out, and they're free and clear because apparently they had no idea where that tunnel went.
No.
Not for a second. Like literally, like catch him before he goes in the tunnel. Goes in the tunnel. Legally we have to go home now.
Oh, the tunnel. That's a different state.
Tunnel of sovereignty. Damn it. So, yeah, after it, we go back to not the original hotel, which seems to be a nicer hotel. I presume because now Rachel's involved. They went and got a nicer hotel.
She's like, we're not staying at that shithole.
No. So he looks through a bag that's on the bed while Rachel's in another room. She comes in, and it's like she's hurt, but then she's like, it's okay, it was for you anyway. So, which, I mean, it's a normal reaction, but it just really kind of adds to how the Rachel character is like, oh,
Yeah.
So, like, oh man, like someone like was like, women, they can't control their emotions, right?
Women be crazy, am I right?
Right? Son. Also, apparently John Woo is black.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she gives her the tin, or the backpack and the tin that's in there.
Yeah.
And like it's just pictures in the video, and he watches the video, and it's him and her from birthday and stuff. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't remember. And they hug or whatever.
Can we just talk about for a second? Spoiler: happily ever after ending.
Yeah.
There's no way that they're gonna have a pleasant. Because she'd be like, "Oh, let's go out to my favorite restaurant." I don't remember what your favorite restaurant is.
Yeah. Hey, like, the last 3 years are done.
Yeah, like everything, like 3 years into a relationship where it's like, oh, he should know by now
Yeah.
what my favorite flower is or what this is. Oh, nope.
It reminds me
But
of...
you're gonna lead me to believe that she isn't gonna come to some understanding and acceptance that she's just gonna have to teach him that all over and just be
Even-
like, well, this
even-
is it. Fuck him. He doesn't remember anymore.
Bitches be
We're
crazy,
done.
yo.
Even think about it this way, because, perversion. They go to have sex. He doesn't even know, like, what the right things to do to her. Like, what's her spot and what's her, like, favorite this or that.
Terrible.
So once again, you're gonna lead me to believe that she isn't going to say anything to him, and they're not gonna have any form of communication. She's just gonna be like, you know what, you suck, I'm out.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I was gonna say, it reminds me of a Patrice O'Neal skit, which is where he says, "I've been dating my girl for 5 years. She's been dating me for 8." Because I didn't know we were dating for a while. So that's how I know. I've only been here for 5.
So he doesn't remember anything and
Yeah.
boo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah. Back to Allcom.
Yeah. Scientists still can't find the virus.
Yeah, whatever it is, the virus thing, absolutely evading him. Jimmy's getting pissed off at this point.
Yeah,
obviously. Like at this point, I go, I think he may just try to kidnap Jennings and kill this other scientist guy.
Why is he so impatient? He waited 3 years for this machine to be built, and it's literally been like a day.
Oh yeah, I think this whole movie may take place in a day.
I'm
I
pretty
know
sure
it
does.
doesn't seem like it does.
No, I'm
but
pretty
I
sure
think
it takes
does.
place within either 1 or
Perhaps
2 days.
perhaps even 2 hours.
It's all done in real time.
It's all yeah.
Well, maybe the reason he's so impatient to get it done is because he knows that if it really does work, then Affleck is coming back to destroy it. So he wants to guarantee that he probably, I guess, get to see it before Affleck destroys it.
Because they don't see. That's one of the problems I have is they leave the mystery of what exactly happened in the 3 years a mystery until the very end.
Yeah.
And they just barely explain it. Like oh man, I think
We're
it's-
almost there.
Yeah, we're
So-
pretty close. Yeah.
Actually, I think we're right. We're just about where we explain.
Oh, actually, yeah, we are pretty close.
Yeah. So somehow, like, they're trying to figure out, like, what is all this shit? I'm supposed to have 20 items, but I only count 19. And they realize the extra stamp on the envelope is a clue,
Yes.
and it's got, like, a little piece of microfiche or microdot on Einstein's eye.
Yes.
So the conveniently placed school across the street, they go and borrow, like, they just walk in and use their microscope.
I'd also like to point out 2003, post 9/11.
Yeah,
so
I was gonna say,
there's no way he should be able to do that.
2007.
Yeah, in their universe, yeah. Oh, maybe they thought things would calm down by then. Oh man.
We're back to adults
yeah,
being able to
what, like-
freely enter schools.
Come on,
And,
like 4 more years, we got this, guys.
Yeah.
We got this.
so they start looking at the micro dot, and they realize it's all newspaper clippings,
Yes.
which makes me think, like, how did that work? Because
I don't know.
did he use the machine? And he's like, I wonder what newspaper I'm going to be reading on this date. And he sees it, and he click, and took a picture. Like, how
Yeah, I don't understand because it's clear to me that the very last picture, the
is a
nuclear
picture
explosion-
of the screen?
absolutely 100%.
The other ones are just straight
No,
up
like,
news.
like he somehow
reached in and
yeah,
pulled a-
he was like, I wonder what future library slideshows will look like. And then he just took them all. Oh man.
So they realize, like, the newspaper clippings, it's like, oh no, Allcom develops future reading device, world leaders condemn Allcom.
Yeah. Rhetoric gets rich, he's the richest
yeah,
man in the world,
like,
then they predict war,
and then-
the nuclear explosion
Yeah.
is
So-
the last shot.
I don't know about you guys, but I paused and tried to read the articles.
I didn't try to read the articles, I tried to read the dates, which are non-existent.
There's no dates?
The only dates on any of the papers
Yeah.
are copyright 2003.
Oh, come on.
Every single one of them has a copyright from 2003.
It
out
makes
of them.
sense because when I went to read the articles, it's like Allcom announces blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like Governor Mitchell said today, blah blah blah. And they literally just took an existing newspaper. It was like, just fucking change the headlines. We're not even. They couldn't even hire like an intern to be like, write up a fake article about what if someone invented a future. And then everyone got scared because there was a future-telling machine. They couldn't even do that. They couldn't even, like...
They put the wrong emphasis on the wrong situations here.
Yeah.
But whatever. War, nuclear disaster.
And this is where Michael, like, suddenly, like, his brain kicks in and he remembers. He's like, oh my god, the future-telling machine, it's gonna predict a war, so we go to war to prevent the war, and it's gonna predict a plague, so we herd all the sick people together and create a plague, and telling people their future, you know...
Yeah, they rely on the future.
Yeah.
There's no mystery, there's no hope, and then the machine has to die. So yeah, they gotta go destroy the machine. Rachel's like, well, I'm not being left behind, so we have to destroy the machine.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, all right.
Bitch.
Boom, they go. They go off. The scientist, he's like, I just need one more day. It's like, Jennings couldn't find any faster if he knew where it was. And the Red X-ray, And this is when the FBI is like, oh, look, see? He's, just like I told you, he's going back to Allcom.
Yeah.
Let's go get him. There's a deleted scene here, which this is the one I was telling you about, where everything's crazy. Michael and Rachel arrive outside of the Allcom building, and the FBI are watching. The main FBI guy, Dodge, the black guy,
Yeah.
he tells his partner, Klein, who's Michael C. Hall, I believe, Dexter,
Yeah.
right? He tells him to go get him, but the Attorney General is like, no, let him go, because then we can let him see how his machine works and then bring him in for extraction. And then Klein, the other FBI guy, is like, but we have a warrant. We can just go in and get everything anyway. It doesn't matter. And then Dodge realizes, no, we're going to let him see how the machine works, extract those memories, and get that info, and then get rid of him. So then we have the memories of the creator on the machine, blah, blah, blah. The Attorney General is like, do you have any idea how much this can help law enforcement, like what this can do? And Dodge is like, yeah, that's why I don't want it. I called this guy a traitor. I want to apologize to his face. I want to give him a future. I want to help him. And the Attorney General is like, this guy has no future either way.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's when I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
This guy's a dick. Yeah, so I was horrible that they got rid of that scene. I thought that was a really powerful scene. Anyway, Michael and Rachel show up inside the building now.
Yeah.
They trigger the metal detectors with ball bearings, and Rethrick is like, oh, let's let the guards stand down. Let them think they snuck in perfectly.
Which I think it's funny. It's literally, like, the key card, it's literally his key card. As though Allcom would have been like, Michael Jennings, disable access.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But I don't know.
Well, he's a reverse engineer. He could have just rebuilt the building to allow
Clearly,
him
that's
in.
what he would have done. This is the area when I realized what a wacky fucking lab this is. Why do they have a thing next to the other thing? Because they walk there. That's when they finally walk through, and I go, "Really? That's right there?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Actually, there's a wind machine like right there. Like that's not gonna blow some debris in. Like there's just no planning to this at all, I guess. So yeah, they sneak in, and Michael starts the machine, and he's like, "Oh my goodness." Then the FBI is like, "Oh, he's in there. Let's go in." Jennings in the machine. Doesn't matter which one. And again, the FBI guys are like, that Attorney General.
Yeah.
What's his deal? Rachel tries to smash the electronic lock with a wrench. And Michael's like, no, they can still read it on their side. Let's just jam. And I was like, I understand biology and electronics are different, but how did you become a doctor of anything?
Yeah.
When you're doing, like, you're just trying to beat things with a wrench. Yeah, like, whatever. They use the, not a quarter, $50.
Yeah.
They jam the reader. Michael activates the machine. Oh, error 41. So like, oh, let's go down and look at all the motherboards, see what we're doing wrong.
Figures out that the crossword puzzle in his envelope was a map to the virus circuit.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Which I don't even understand, because he doesn't remember. He's like, well, I wouldn't have put it on the coformulator, and I wouldn't have put it on the central matrix, so I put it right here, and boop, there it is. Boop.
Yeah,
Like, it takes 30 seconds.
No, I know.
So I think this is where, they turn the machine on. He's like, okay, now let's see what's going to happen. Turns the machine on. reads his palm to tell him his future.
Yeah.
And-
Well, we get another bit of a serious bit, which is the machine. He's like, oh, Rethrick's like, oh, he fixed the machine. He's like, let's go get him. And Rethrick grabs a gun.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's fucking go. Pretty badass gun. I don't know what gun that is, but I like it.
I want one.
Yeah. So yeah, boom, start the machine, and Michael sees his death, but this time Rachel's there, so she sees it too, and they're
she's
like, oh no, like, what are we gonna
butthurt.
do? And yeah. Wolf shows up outside with his men, they try to open the door, but it's jammed. Michael decides, we gotta destroy the machine.
He figures out using a zip tie and a bullet
Yeah.
that they can rig, because
There's like a
cooling, the liquid
Yeah.
hydrogen is cooled, and it's got a mechanized
piston that-
piston
yeah.
that fires, and he knows, he's like, well, they fire in order, and one just fired, so I'll set it on number 6, so when 6 fires, it'll fire the bullet
there's
into the hydrogen.
no indication of when those would have went off.
Yeah.
Let alone,
It's-
while he's trying to tie the bullet and all that, why isn't she trying to open the vent? Why is she then waiting for the next scene to be like, oh, look what I found! Now I'm going to open
And
it.
she actually points out the vent earlier, and then while he's doing that, she just goes, and stands there, and then
Yeah.
like, all right, now let's
She
open the
gets
vent.
like dumber and dumber and dumber in the scene. Like she just keeps trying to beat things with wrenches. So yeah, they walk into an air vent, which, I mean, obviously at this point, who gives a fuck? But it's amazing to me all the technology they have in this film. But somehow this universe doesn't understand air duct technology.
Nope.
You don't need a sewer grade pipe to move
Yeah,
air.
No, you do. But this is special air.
Oh,
You need it for the machine.
oh, it's
Because the
it's
future-
future air.
Future.
Oh, okay.
Because the machine was like, dude, I can't breathe this past air. You got to give me some future air.
I know because I can
Yeah,
see it.
I know, because maybe the machine's just the dick.
Oh my goodness.
Look, watch this. I bet I can make them try to give me future air.
Oh, what a dick machine. Yeah, so they go ahead, kick open the vent, hop out. Wolf blows the door open. He comes in, like, oh, they're gone, let's go find them. Rethrick turns the machine on and goes, let me see what you did, Michael. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
what did you watch?
Yeah, Wolf seals off the lab. Michael and Rachel are fighting guards. That goes on for like a good 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Them just fighting,
yeah.
Rethrick looking to see what happened.
They
and-
fight into the jungle lab, which is behind a curtain, like separated by a curtain with the machine
Yeah.
room.
Yeah, and then they're in the lab, and somehow Michael gets his bow staff, and they start fighting, and Rachel's using, like, she's using the robot arm, and the floating platform, and
Yeah.
the wind machine, she's using it all. And so they're fighting, whatever. They, like, after they defeat the guys, they go to leave, but Michael throws Rachel behind the door, closes the door, breaks the lock. Mm-hmm. And she's like, no, don't leave me, you bastard.
You're gonna get killed on the catwalk.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
dick.
So, emotional goodbye. They go back, or Michael goes back to find Rethrick, and they have a standoff with the guns.
Yeah, and this was even more ridiculous than last time because they're toying. They're like, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna kill you.
I think they are literally touching each other's faces in this scene
they
with
are,
the guns.
yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah.
The guns are just resting on each other's faces.
And then they just put the guns down and just start punching each
yeah,
other.
they fight.
And they fight, and then Rethrick starts choking Jennings.
Yeah.
With like he just grabs like fiber optic cable
Yeah.
and starts choking him with
Starts
it.
choking you. Which, don't braid wires together like that. That's not good for them.
Yeah.
That's very bad. You will hurt the wires. But then he starts choking. Then he chokes it around his neck, ties it to the platform, and then rides the platform up
to the catwalk so that he can live out his death.
Which, between him levitating after the catwalk and him yelling, I am the future, I was like, they stole this from Street Fighter. This is the M. Bison
this is
scene.
Bison.
Yeah. Whatever. Drops him off in the platform. That was it. That was the whole plan. Literally what Michael said came true in that instance.
Yeah.
He saw the video, knew if he brought him on the catwalk, he'd die. So he brought him to the catwalk and was like, he'll just die up there. I don't have to kill him. He, seconds after he figured out why the machine couldn't be built, it came true. Immediately.
Yeah.
I can see why it wasn't even done. He was like, no, we gotta stop this. Once it starts, the snowball's gone. So yeah, he flies him up to the catwalk.
this is where the FBI gives the order,
Yeah.
kill Jennings.
Yeah. Well, the Attorney General.
Yeah,
does. The FBI still
the
like,
Attorney
hey,
General's
come on.
like, kill Jennings, we have the machine, so whatever. So there's an FBI agent hidden on the catwalk who can view, he's got
Yeah.
sight on Jennings and
Got a gun,
Rethrick.
Yeah.
Rethrick pulls out the gun, but here comes some of Rethrick's thugs, and they've got Rachel.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, because the whole time we kept seeing, the door opens up.
Yeah.
And, stuff. And what came out? A white dove. The white dove flies out. And then, but no, turns out it's Rachel.
Yeah.
Held by a guard. Rethrick comes in, says, "Oh, this is all your fault. You were trying to stop what you didn't like to see, but you should let the program continue." And then Rachel notices the FBI guy, and Michael's watch goes off. It just goes go go go. Like,
Yeah.
that's when it's beeping. And that's what Rachel says. She's like, go, go, go.
And
And she's also like, do you believe in second chances? And he's
Yeah.
like, now I do. And so they jump, and then the people shoot, and they
And they-
shoot each other.
Yep.
Or I don't know if they shoot each other, but the
Rethrick
FBI guy
gets
shoots
shot.
Rethrick. Yeah, he's fucking dead.
And they jump and grab onto these plastic curtains, and they're hanging for their life.
Yeah.
And then Rachel slips, but Ben Affleck grabs him. But they're really only 4 feet
Yeah,
above the
they're
ground. That's the best part. She falls. He's like, "I got you," and he grabs her, and then they're like, "Oh," and they just fall.
Yeah. It's like that episode of
Always
Always Sunny.
Sunny,
Yeah.
yes.
It's like, oh,
Yes, it
I don't
made me
know.
think of that.
Might have bruised the heel.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. Let's do it again. So, boom, explosions everywhere. Rethrick got shot off the catwalk onto like a glass box
Yup.
or whatever, so you could see half of his face pushed
Yup.
up against the glass.
Yes.
Boom, explosion.
Yes.
Half his body gets burnt and shit. Like, oh my, it was like,
Harvey Dent.
you can't not. There's no other thing you could do but see that when you
Yeah.
see that scene. That's what happened. He turned into Two-Face like 3 years before the note. It was amazing. But the explosion happens because the bullet that was strapped to the coolant tank hits the
Yeah.
coolant tank. The coolant tanks were all highly flammable. They went off, exploded, boom. Everything goes off. Wolf was using the machine at the time.
Yeah. And
And-
sees that the machine is going to explode. He's like, "Oh no, I gotta get out of here!" And then the machine explodes.
Yeah, which kind of further leads into how dangerous that fucking machine is. Like, you don't even have
That
a
machine
chance.
definitely- Hey, dude, you're gonna explode.
Yeah.
Which, if he just happened to run forward instead of backwards, he would have still been alive.
Oh yeah.
If you think about
The
it.
machine's like, you're gonna run into the explosion and get blown through the glass.
That
so he's
machine
like,
is genius. Wolf's the idiot.
yes. The machine's still a dick.
No, yeah, it's absolutely.
So somehow Rachel and Michael escape. I don't know how, because the place is
Fell
swarming.
into a light pool of water. Like a shallow
The place
pool.
is swarming with FBI agents, and this is when the Attorney General's like,
Yeah.
"You got any?"
Did you find anything? Is there any sign of him?
And nice black FBI agent
Yeah.
has the
He's
watch. He's like, "No, no,
Nope.
I don't see anything."
Not a thing anywhere.
And Michael C. Hall is like,
I see what you did there.
wink,
Yeah.
And
And then they fade into
The
Jennings.
nursery, yeah.
He's moving dirt in front of nursery storefront. Inside, Rachel's taking care of flowers. She's like, "Oh, Shorty's crazy for buying a nursery. He knows nothing about plants. They're all dead." And they joke about literally the situation they just had. Like, it's such a tacked-on ending. They're like, "So what does the future hold for us?" And, "Oh, good thing I'm a biologist." Like, it's just like, it's so like cliche and
awful.
tacky. Yeah, it's awful. But then Jennings is like, "Oh," she's like, "What's the future hold?" And Jennings is like, "Oh, I don't know, but I kind of like it that way, and I don't want to forget any of it."
woo,
And right then is when it clicks into my mind. I'll say it later, but
Okay.
right then is when it clicks into my mind. But then Shorty shows up, and he's like, "Look who I got," and he's got the birds.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how the fucking birds survived.
Well, I don't know how the birds anything, because when she left them, she left the cage open.
I leave my bird cage open all the time. Like, that's
but-
where he lives.
Yeah, but and the windows were open. Like the birds would have.
Oh,
like
did-
yeah.
all right, fuck it
she
then.
literally was like, "Okay, bye guys. Like I'm gonna set them free because I'm never gonna see them again." And apparently they're like, "No, we like it here."
Those birds are like, "Why? There's food right here. We're not dumbasses."
I ain't going out and getting eaten by no hawk.
All right. He shows up with the birds, and
And he realizes the fortune cookie.
yeah. Well, yeah. He's like, "Oh, yeah, why can't you remember the birds? But how come you can't remember that makes us rich?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, wait, I do." And he's like, "No, you don't. Let it go."
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, I do. If you only look where you can't go, you'll miss the riches below." Who only looks where they can't go? Cage Bird, obviously.
Yeah.
Robin must have showed up, helped him with that one.
Yeah.
Fucking Batman with his goddamn...
Riddles.
What sits in a tree is 5 ounces and a dangerous? A sparrow with a machine gun. Like, that's the type of level that shit was going for. He opens the bottom tray of the bird
And it's
thing,
a lotto
and
ticket.
look at that lotto ticket under there.
Which-
Oh.
Here's the issue I had. If the FBI knows about Jennings, the girl, and Shorty,
Okay.
who the fuck's gonna cash the lotto ticket and not get them in trouble with the FBI? The FBI is presumably still like the Attorney General is gonna be like, Michael Jennings.
Well, I don't know if they have. Maybe they. No, I don't know if the FBI would have too much of a reason to go after Rachel.
Oh, so you don't think they know about? So Rachel's got to be the one who cashes.
Maybe, yeah. I think at this point she might be the free one because Michael was the fugitive, and she
Yeah.
wasn't too much of an associate.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just maybe. But yeah, they get the ticket, and then Shorty and Jennings start arguing. Or I guess because
How to
apparently they're
split it.
brothers, Shorty and Michael, because they're both Jennings. Apparently,
Jennings
they
and
argue about
Jennings Incorporated.
Yeah, and then Rachel just smiles at her birds.
Yeah. What's the alternate name?
Alternate ending, kind of the same but also different. Shorty is driving Michael and Rachel in a pickup truck with a bed full of flowers. Shorty has to deliver them to a wedding. Shorty talks about how his how plants are the future, and you know that this is good, and like he's like, plants are the future, Michael, and he kind of just looks at Rachel like, oh yeah, they are, like, you know, because she's a biologist. And then they just jump cut to Michael and Rachel are suddenly on their bike. Yeah, in front of a store. And Rachel is like, Michael, are you really smart enough to have planned everything out like that? And he's like, I don't know. Maybe I was. Maybe I wasn't. And then he notices that kid from earlier who stole the ring. And he's like, hey. And the kid's like, uh-oh, and starts to run. And as he runs, he kind of follows him with his eyes. And his eyes cross paths with the store he just sold the ring to as the guy puts the ring in the window. And he's like, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. And he walks in the store, he comes back out, and he's like, do you believe in fate? And she says, why? And he's like, because there's a question I forgot to ask you. And they kiss, and it spins around them and fades out. He doesn't present them with a ring, he doesn't ask the question, he says, do you believe in fate? Because there's something I forgot to ask you. Fade to black.
Are you pregnant?
Yeah, so that was Paycheck.
What was that thing you were going to bring up?
What was what thing?
Right at the end. You're like, there's something...
Oh, yeah. It was when the seedy hotel room got brought into it, and this alternate ending really drove it home for me. Mm-hmm. This movie felt like a shitty version of the Bourne Identity.
Yeah. Actually, did you hear? Matt Damon was offered the role, turned it down because he felt it was too
Really?
similar to the Bourne Identity.
Man.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Ben Affleck, like, it was
Jesus
going to Matt Damon
Christ.
first, and like he turned it down. Who's the shitty Matt Damon? And back then, the shitty Matt Damon was Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck was the, like, less competent one.
That's so ridiculous. It's so funny, too, because it was probably when they were in the hotel room, I think. I can't remember when I said it was, but it was something like, he said somewhere, he was like, I just, I want to remember everything, and I don't want to keep forgetting or whatever like that. And when he said that, I was like, oh, you know what song should be in this film? I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. And I was like, and then I laughed because he was also in Armageddon.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe that's just his whole career, is that film. Just that one song.
That would have been a really strong pull.
I can't remember where the hell that it clicked in my head that I said that. But yeah, I was just like, fucking this whole yeah, like that's the whole movie. I'm sorry I can't remember you, but that's how it is, and I don't want to do that, but it is the way it is. And like some of the all the soundtracks, all the music for this movie, they're all classical songs, but the song is like Dream a Little Dream of Me and like the Forget Me Not. Like it's all a bunch of just ugh. Oh man. All right, we kind of already started breaking it down, but I mean, how you guys really feel about it?
It's stupid. It's the horseshit Bourne Identity.
Yeah.
It's like everyone is just incompetent. They're idiots. Like it's I don't know. It's bewilderment is the best way to describe this movie. Everyone is just confused. Nobody knows what's going on. Everybody's incompetent at their jobs. Except for Ben Affleck, but he's just a dick. And he's still confused all
Yeah,
the time.
I don't know, like, if this makes sense, but I kind of felt like there was a story told at me and not to me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they didn't really care if I listened or not.
Well, at one point I wrote at about the 40-minute mark, you could literally jump into the movie at that point and wouldn't really miss anything because then they flash within like those first 5 minutes. They flash back and they're like, "Oh yeah, this happened and this happened." The only thing that they don't mention is Uma Thurman's character, but that really doesn't matter because all you know of her is he meets her at the party and she creates a win to fuck with it.
Yeah.
Which aren't even anything important.
No, it's, yeah. She has no character development, Uma Thurman. I've realized after this that I've only seen her in whatever films I mentioned, like Batman and Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen her in any other films?
Yes.
Kill Bill?
Okay. Like anything else, or? I'm just curious. Because I know she's starred in something, but have you ever seen her as, like, supporting actress, anything else? Like, no, right? Like, I mean, I haven't. I'm not gonna say she hasn't done anything else.
I mean, all I can remember from her is the big stuff. Kill Bill. Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, I wonder if she doesn't have a movie like catered to her, if she's a fucking terrible actress,
Maybe.
or if maybe it's just the film.
So real quick, I read up on the Philip K. Dick short story.
Okay.
And it's like radically different in a very strange way. He's still a reverse engineer, whatever the fuck that is, right? He's still a reverse engineer, and it's still rhetoric.
I'm glad that's from that
Yeah.
story, and someone else was like, "This is genius. This is a new thing that's genius."
He's still a reverse engineer, and rhetoric is still like, oh, you're gonna work for me and build this machine,
Okay.
and then we're gonna erase your memory, and then I'm gonna have an envelope full of things. But apparently, the entire plot is it's in the future, and the government is this like fucking corrupt, like totalitarian government,
Okay.
and rhetoric is somehow trying to use a future machine to build an army to overthrow this totalitarian government with his corporation, and rhetoric uses the machine to blackmail, or Jennings uses the machine to blackmail rhetoric into making him a partner in the corporation.
Okay.
So Rethric's the good guy in this.
I don't know.
I mean, you haven't.
I haven't read it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to read it now. 'cause
Yeah. It's a short.
It's
so,
a short story.
yeah.
It's probably like less than 50 pages.
Oh wow, yeah.
But I want to read it now, just because I'm like, okay, so it's the totalitarian government, and rhetoric wants to overthrow them, but now Jennings is the dick because he's just trying to blackmail his way into the corporation.
Yeah, like he doesn't really care about. Like, I feel like somehow Rethrick is Jennings and Jennings is Rethrick in that story.
Yeah, I don't
That's-
get it. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand it in general because I don't like. I guess maybe because Rethrick hasn't used the machine enough, but like. How does he not know like that what's gonna happen in the future? Like, how does he not know that he's gonna make $1 million? How does he not know that nuclear war is gonna happen? How does he not know like all of these things?
Because it's one of those things where Michael probably built it, used it himself, realized what he built, and then just...
Well, I mean, it still worked when he left, the day he left.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how much time was in between it working and the Error 41 that he couldn't be like, oh, I'm going to make a bunch of money and then war will happen so money won't kind of matter. Like, I feel like it's the same problem with everything in this film, which is there's no forethought. There's no contingency plan. They don't think anything outside the immediate. So, but I mean, that was my problem with that. I don't know. And then that made me think about how money works. Like, I don't understand. Like if I have $1 million in American dollars and then America goes under, do I have no money?
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda, because the idea, like, if you ever look at your dollar bill, it's like backed by the full faith.
Well,
and
all right.
blah, blah, blah.
Let me specify it then. If I have $1 million and put that in a Swiss bank, am I now broke, or do the Swiss people like recognize the placeholder before the value goes under?
Well, if the value goes under, then you'll be broke. Yeah, because there was Zimbabwe.
So I'd have to theoretically launder my money.
Yeah, you'd have to convert it first. You'd have to
from
convert it
American to a
euro,
different
to euro. Yeah, there was Zimbabwe had the Zimbabwe dollar, and they underwent something called hyperinflation.
Yeah.
which is where the money rapidly loses value.
Yeah, like $1,000 for a loaf of bread type of shit.
Yeah, and it's literally like, it got to the point where there were like $100 million bills, but it like the money $100 million
was like 30 cents. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 30. So it got to the point where Zimbabwe was like, okay, it's not money anymore, and like that's it. They just abandoned it. So now Zimbabwe uses other currencies, like other local. They don't have like. So there came a day where they're like, all right, Zimbabwe dollar's done, and like you just had all this money that was useless.
Yeah, see, but I understand that because it's a physical item.
Yeah.
But what about the digital transfer? Like, if I put $1,000 American dollars in there, does the bank mark down? No, this is $1,000 American dollars.
Yeah.
They don't just transfer it into an unspecified.
Nope.
He's worth this much universally.
Yeah, I think it's just in as
It's
American
constantly.
dollars. Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong because
It depends on how you send it. If you send
So,
it,
but like, then theoretically, then, if I take my money and put it in a
because-
Swiss bank account, then I'd still lose money.
yeah, because if you like, if I have $100 American,
Yes.
and I put it in a PayPal account, and I go to buy, and the value of an American dollar decreases, and I go to buy something Canadian. Like I still have to pay. All right, well, it's still $100 American dollars. And I still have to. They still convert it to Canadian.
Oh, I
then.
see,
So
yeah.
you're fucked because
That's
they
crazy.
convert it.
That's ridiculous, though. And that means that my value is only worth literally my social network,
Yeah.
which would be the country I'm in.
Yeah.
That's insane. That means that nothing I do matters unless it's for the person I'm with. Like, literally. That's insane. All right. Let's play a game.
Game?
Oh, you know what game. Opinions and assholes.
All right.
All right, this first one is written by Ben Baines. It's titled, This is One Excellent Movie. I almost did not go see this movie based on the reviews it was getting, but I went anyway. I'm so glad I did. This is one of the best action movies of the year. It feels a little bit like The Bourne Identity, which is a good thing. I like the clues and finding where and when he has to use them. This movie deserves better reviews. Movies are for fun, not to solve world problems. So go and enjoy. I did.
You're an asshole.
Who thinks that movies to solve world
Listen here,
problems?
Ben Baines from McEwen, Tennessee. I'm calling you out. You're an asshole.
That's, Jesus Christ. He's just challenging people in wrestling matches now. What's going on? That's not what this game is.
Oh, man.
All right, well, that's 5 out of 5 stars. Yeah, I think I'm an asshole too. Next one is same title, Paycheck. Just the title of the, written by Jazz Lady Wendy. I love this movie. It was full of plot twists and a lot of edge of your seat action. Kept me guessing. Buy this DVD, you'll love it too.
I don't think there were any plot twists.
5 out of 5 stars.
There weren't any plot
No.
twists. So she's an asshole.
Yeah, especially because the last sentence, buy this DVD, you'll love it too. Which, to me, means that you'll only love it if you make
buy
the
it.
regret of like buyer's remorse. Like, no, you bought that
it's,
film? Oh, no, yeah.
It's when you spend money and you're like, you have to justify it in your
Yo,
head.
financial
this is-
denial kind of a...
Is that what it's
I don't
called?
know. That's what it sounds like to
All
me.
right, it's called financial denial.
Or maybe,
It's-
yeah.
You spend money on something, you're like, no, it's really good. And,
yeah.
and you just convince yourself that it was worth the money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, that's not what it's called then. Yeah, that's something people usually reserve for high-priced items.
Yeah.
Like, you buy, like, a Lexus, and then that'll get recalled, and you're like, I don't have a problem with it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't-
fucking
I don't
spend $1,000. But,
That reminds me, the Vita, PlayStation Vita.
Yeah.
If you bought it in the first 6 months, Sony's offering, for false advertising, they're offering a $50 rebate because they falsely advertised the way the online multiplayer worked.
oh.
And I literally read online who were like, I'm not gonna claim this because I wasn't gonna use it and I got my money's worth. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you not take $50 from some mega corporation?
That's people who have too much pride than is good with, or English. This next one is called Anyone Who Gave This Movie Less Than 4 Stars is a Nut by Anonymous. Everyone who rated this movie and gave it less than 4 stars has definitely not understood the message of this movie. No, those reviews have been made by little fat couch potatoes who have no clue what it is like to write, plan, produce, shoot, edit, and release a movie. But that's okay. You can't do it any better anyway. So your reviews are useless. And guess what? Instead of criticizing a movie with your I know everything better attitude, you should get a life.
Was this written by the screenwriter or something?
I don't
This
know.
guy is 100% an asshole.
Oh,
so you put hard work into the movie? Guess what? It's still a piece of shit. That doesn't mean you don't get an A for effort. You don't get 5 stars because you tried hard. No, your movie sucked.
No, yeah. Pretty sure if you try hard, then it's even worse.
Yeah, if you try hard and your movie sucks, then...
Like Tommy Wiseau, No, It Was Up.
Yeah.
When he made The Room, that was supposed to be a drama, and then it sucked, and he was like, no, it was always a comedy the whole time. I was making a comedy.
Yeah.
And, like, all the actors are like, no, that's not what happened on set. It's not the way we filmed it. All right. The last 3 have been 5 out of 5, in case I haven't said that. All right, this next one, gonna go ahead and balance it out. Terrible in every way. Man, this is bad. Stupid story full of gaping plot holes, wretched flat performers on both lead actors, and tedious stunts. It's time to admit that Wu is simply a bad director, unable to capture any of the qualities that made him good 10 years ago. He's still into sappy symbolism, flying white dove means freedom, silly big explosions, and puts not 1 but 2 references to the famous point-blank guns pointed at each other's pose from The Killers. One redeeming thing is that Wu didn't use the alternate ending. That's one of the special features on this DVD, a gut-churningly bad scene that has Ben recovering a diamond ring and proposing to Uma as she flutters her hands with joy. That does not happen! It fades out to them kissing. There is no hand fluttering, you don't see the ring. There's no indication that he actually bought it. He goes in the store, comes back out with his hands behind his back, sits on the bike facing her, and then he says that line, they kiss.
And they kiss.
He could have just bought a duck. Like, you know, there's no reason for them to assume
He
that.
bought a new sex toy.
Yeah.
But he bought it from a pawn shop, so it was previously used. That's disgusting.
That's gross.
Because, the pawn shop didn't disinfect it or anything.
Oh, Ben Affleck, you're gross.
Yeah.
You're a gross man.
You're Bruce Wayne. You could have afforded a new sex toy.
Oh, there was one thing I wanted to mention before we were done. Oh, yeah, that was it. Do you guys know what the first thing Ben Affleck directed was?
No.
No.
No? Most people would have said Gone Baby Gone,
Oh, yeah.
which was the first feature-length film he directed in 2007.
Uh,
But that's the first feature-length film. The first film, it actually just said short next to it, that he directed. You want to take a guess? Take a wild just stab in the dark. What was the name of the first thing he directed? Just any name.
Affleck.
No. No, you want to take a shot at this, Danny? I'll give you a hint I didn't give him. It's a really long title.
Georgia May Comes to Town.
That's not a long title, but okay. Man. All right. No. The name or the title of the first thing that Ben Affleck directed was a short called I Killed My Lesbian Wife, Hung Her on Meat Hooks, and Now I Have a 3-Picture Deal at Disney.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Okay.
I killed my lesbian wife, hung her on meat hooks, and now I have a 3-picture deal at Disney. It's the name of the first thing he ever directed. I for some reason,
That's
I didn't
a
write
little
down the
weird.
year, but I think it may have been like a college thing.
I was about to say, it was probably for like
I
college.
hope it was a college
Yeah.
thing. Otherwise, we might need to be watching Ben Affleck.
Well, what do you expect being on Voyage of the Mimi? So young.
What?
What?
Have you ever seen Voyage of the Mimi in
No.
high school? No.
What is that?
Oh, whatchamacallit? Well, not high school, middle school. Basically, it was just like these Saturday morning like videos that they used to give, I guess, in the 80s, but they showed it to us in the in middle school science, and it's just basically a whole group of people on a boat following humpback whales, and Ben Affleck's a little boy on the boat. Yeah.
Why do they show it to you?
It's just because it's supposed to teach you about like humpback whales and how humpback whales act in the wild and just different like
No.
things regarding
Never
didn't
heard it.
teach us
Didn't
about
sh-
whales.
To be fair,
Yeah.
they showed me Bill Nye the Science Guy in my science
Yeah,
class.
that's what I remember.
Bill Nye every fucking day.
Every day?
Maybe not every day. It was like 8th grade, but
Yeah.
yeah, that guy was lazy. I mean, there'd be like a pamphlet and stuff we'd have to fill out. And not a pamphlet, like a...
What is the name of the science guy in the show?
That was the trick part. It was never Bill.
Sequel?
No.
Why? I think
How would you make a sequel?
Why?
he builds. She erases his mind, and then he builds another future machine.
He erases her mind to even out the relationship balance.
Yeah, and he's like, "No, you like butt stuff."
And then it's just 51st Dates all over again. Damn it! This movie cannot be original! Every time we just gotta steal another storyline. Oh, man. I think you've told the story before, but the whole time I'm watching this film, I just remember about that teacher that kept calling you Mr. Jennings!
Yes, that motherfucker.
I'm pretty sure you've told that story on this podcast before.
The
but,
old German professor.
yeah, but tell it again. Why
All
not?
right. So when I'm going to college, and I gotta take a foreign language. So I'll take German because that's different. So it's fucking old, like ancient German guy. He barely speaks English, and he's got old person dry mouth, so he's all salivy all the time. And I can't understand. Yeah, I can't understand him, and I can't read his handwriting, and he doesn't know my name. And Mr. Jennings. I'm not Jennings. That's not my name. I'm J Delta. My name is J Delta. Don't call me Jennings. Every day I come in, hello, Mr. Jennings, welcome to class, and I'm not Jennings.
Yeah.
The students are laughing. I think it's ridiculous. I turn in my test. I know I bomb it. Mr. Jennings, I didn't get your test today. We did the test and I didn't get it. I'm not Jennings. I took the test and I did bad on it.
Insane.
And that's why I don't know German now.
That's why I don't know. Did you ever like rate that guy on like rate my
No,
professor?
I just stopped going.
You just stopped you abandoned the whole class.
Yeah, that was, I mean, to be fair, that was my when I started doing bad in the class, or I just stopped going. Because eventually they just dropped you.
Yeah, if you do too bad, yeah.
Because then it didn't count as an F.
No, it would just count as a drop.
Yeah.
Ironically, much like our fathers, it's better to abandon us than follow through.
It's better to give up than perform poorly.
Yeah. See? They did teach us something.
Yeah.
All right!
Yeah. All right, so this is a public service announcement from Why Would You Make This?
Abandon your children.
All the fathers out there, if you don't think you're quite up to snuff, you're not quite cutting it, just abandon it.
Just
leave it.
walk away.
Yeah, they're better off without you.
Chances are they'll remember you in a good way and use that memory to go forth and do something good, you know?
And hold a grudge against their mothers.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I know. This is way off topic, but I always wonder how many successful people are successful because, like,
Spite.
yeah, like their parents died when they were young and they don't know that they're terrible people, and they're like,
Bruce
my dad. Exactly, exactly. Like just shit like that. And they're like, oh, my fucking dad, he raped a man. Like, and then you're like, I'm gonna be a firefighter just like him. And you're like, oh no, the fire made him crazy, and he drank and he raped his coworker.
All right then.
The fire made him crazy.
I'm sorry. I've been reading a lot about Bill Cosby still. Rape is on the mind. It's just it's the only thing I'm thinking of.
All right.
Not in that way, though. Not yet.
Not in the way that I'm gonna do it, but if it happens and I'm involved.
No, all right. You do this constantly. Let's just stop. All right, no sequel. When's the next DPW show? Any idea?
It's gonna be in February. I don't know the exact date.
Oh wow.
No, January.
Oh, okay. That's a little sooner. I was gonna say
February
wow.
was canceled. February was the community center.
Oh, all right, because they closed down.
They closed.
Sad.
Yeah.
Do you know where?
Center Reach.
Center Reach.
VFW.
VFW Hall in Center
Yes.
Reach. Yeah, give them a little bit more information. I know we say victoryprowrestling.com, but you know,
Yeah.
the VFW Hall in Center Reach on Long Island in New York.
Yep.
I don't know how many people are on Long Island in New York,
Yeah,
but
I
if
don't
you
know.
are, hey, come check us out. I mean, there's people who come from
Fucking Queens. and
yeah.
shit, man.
I mean, Long Island's pretty easy to get around, so you can come from the city to watch. People do that. Some of the wrestlers are from the city. I mean, it's their job, but some of the wrestlers are from the city.
Yeah.
All right. You can keep up with everything Why Would You Make This by following us on Facebook, Tumblr, or Twitter by searching WWYMT. You can also email us anything you'd like to at whywouldyoumake@gmail.com. You can listen to our podcast episodes by downloading them directly at www.ymt.libsyn.com. That's www.ymt.libsyn.com. You can also subscribe to us through iTunes or DoublePod if you have an Android, or whatever you use to listen to podcasts. You'd be surprised how many people don't know podcasts exist.
Oh no, I'm fully aware.
People with iPhones that don't know podcasts.
Yeah, no. What kind of music you listen to? Oh, I usually don't listen to music. I listen to podcasts. What?
What is that? It's my whole medium. That's my job. You don't even know it exists. Damn you. Okay, the Troy McClure clip comes from Bart's Inner Child, the 7th episode of the 5th season of the 1987 television series The Simpsons. Our intro music is Falling Off Your Love by Kill Paris. Fuck it, why not? I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith is going to take us out. Of course, I never put the full song, so you're not the one that sits for the whole thing. For Danny Money, J Delta, I am Jimmy Time. Please remember that without the mistakes of others, we would be forced to endure the pain of failure ourselves. Support the arts. The preceding recording is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed in this podcast do not necessarily represent the views of Why Would You Make This, its owners, employees, or associates.